Ladies and gentlemen, KSSK Promotions Sweetie Pacaro is here tonight to formally present the KSSK Schumann Carriage of Hawaii UH Rainbow Teak OIA ILH Coach of the Week honors. Congratulations to Waianae High School's varsity football coach Dan Matsumoto for his dedication and contribution to the student athletes both on and off the playing fields. The Coach of the Week honors is brought to you by Schumann Carriage of Hawaii, UH Rainbow Teak, the OIA, ILH, and KSSK Radio. Remember, if you know of anyone who deserves to be recognized coach, assistant coach, trainer, etc., for any sport, any level, please remember to submit your nominations to KSSK Radio. Once again, congratulations to Waianae High School's Dan Matsumoto.
Welcome to Aloha Stadium, everybody, for the OIA Championship here at Aloha Stadium. I'm Kevin Hashiro, and a lot at stake in this game. The winner, of course, will be crowned the OIA Championship, and my partner for this evening's game, Al Morikami. Al, in the first meeting between these two, Kahuku fell 12-7, their only loss of the season. In the meantime, the Waianae Sea Riders have gone through this entire season unscathed and very worthy of their number 2 ranking in the HawaiiSportsNetwork.com poll.
Yes, indeed. And if Kahuku wants to avenge that loss, they are going to have to stay away from the mistakes. The last time they played Waianae, of course, 4 interceptions, 3 fumbles forced by the Sea Rider defense against the Red Raiders, and that certainly is something that they will have to work on this evening.
For Waianae, you mentioned, Al, head coach Danny Matsumoto, their head coach. for Kahuku, Shiwaki Levi. And for Coach Levi, you talk about a great job that he has done in the last few years. As you recall, in his first season as the head coach for the Red Raiders, not a good season. Kahuku football really dropping to perhaps one of its lowest depths, but he has done a fantastic job in rebuilding this program after then head coach Doug Simonis left.
And indeed he has. To give you an idea, by the way, between these two teams, the last time they matched up with each other earlier in the season, of course, Waianae rushed for 100 yards while limiting Kahuku on the ground to just 37. However, at the same time, Kahuku threw for 275 yards through the air, while at the same time limiting Waianae to just 37. In all, in terms of just total offensive yardage, 312 to 137 is the matchup. So Kahuku likes to go for the big play, Kevin, and for Waianae to win this game tonight, they have to go as usual to their control game of Sorono and Manners.
And obviously with Kahuku, they love to play a mixed variety of offenses. They'll try to run the ball and pound it down your throat, and then the next minute, what they'll try to do, they'll put it in the air and try to wear you out. For Waianae, there you see head coach Danny Matsumoto, and he has done a fantastic job in his rookie year as the head coach, taking over for Leo Ta'aka, who resigned as the head coach to become the school's athletic director. And what a year. What a rookie season now. In his first season, undefeated OIA champs.
And indeed, but in a way, it's not fair really to call Matsumoto a rookie, because he's been with this program for, I think, over a decade now as an assistant coach at various levels. And if I'm not mistaken, he was also the junior varsity head coach as well. So he is very familiar with the system, the players, the school. You know, the players themselves see him every day at the at Waianae High over there on the leeward side, and certainly as a result, it's hard to call the man a rookie. You know, it's just that he's been groomed and he's prepared.
A lot at stake in this game, Al. Of course, the winner of this one will have a chance to stay home, where they will take on Waimea High School of the Kauai Interscholastic Federation, that league champion. The loser of this game will have to travel to Maui. Not an easy place to play. We'll come back and take a break. After this timeout, we will bring you the kickoff between Kahuku and Waianae after this on Hawaii Aloha Stadium Stars TV Sports. And so the kickoff is underway. Bobo will kick off to Aaron Francisco. Gives it on a reverse to Ao. No, they'll keep it. Ao down the sideline. The kicker to beat. He will take it down the sidelines. It's a foot race. No one will catch Aaron Francisco. Touchdown. Kahuku on the opening kickoff of the game.
Red Raiders coach Shiwaki Levi, Kevin, earlier, penalty or not, said that coming into this game, we will do a lot of things differently from what we did the last time we played this team.
But all for naught on a 92-yard kickoff return called back because of a penalty. Oh my.
The most important thing, as I pointed out, was for the Sea Riders of Danny Matsumoto had to be careful in this ballgame of making mistakes, because they made a lot of them, although Kahuku made a lot more the last time these two met regular season back in September.
So we'll get the official call here from our referee.
Of a low block on a receiving team on the kickoff. After this is going to go first down.
Our referee tonight is Glenn Young, indicating an illegal low block, and then push the ball all the way back to the 10-yard line. So instead of a 6-0 Kahuku lead, the Red Raiders will start on their own 10-yard line.
Take another look at it here, courtesy First Hawaiian Bank. Beautiful fake. This is what really sets it all off. You see the quick fake there. Waianae fooled. They're following the fake man, and Francisco basically has just a very thin fence to come through to just take off. But of course, blocking below the knees, and all of this, Kevin comes back to the 10-yard line.
Inoki Funaki is the starting quarterback for the Red Raiders as they line up in an I tandem. Play action. Here comes the rush. Funaki flushed out of the pocket. He is looking to throw deep. It will be intercepted and out of the hands of the defensive back. Alvin Brown was there to make a possible pick, but they're
that was all brought by the Sea Rider pressure up front, forcing that pass situation that allowed, of course, the defensive back to catch up and shade Francisco, and then the ball underthrown, of course, by Funaki, and at the last moment, of course, excellent job by the Waianae defender to step up and be able to step in front of that ball. Unfortunately, not able to hold on.
Marcus Salanoa, Irvin Atuai are starting back. Saia Hafoka, James Camera are the starting receivers, along with Vai Napa'a, Blanchard Lautaha, Seope Lautaha, Napeahi and Kauvaka, running the linemen, give up to Salanoa. He's got a first down and more. Salanoa gets a block down to the 40, up to the 43-yard line, and a first down for the Red Raiders.
Marcus Salanoa, slashing runner with good foot speed. Young man during the regular season as we check up here. As you see it once again here, how he just cuts up inside. Salanoa during the regular season came up 17th overall. 28 carries, 149 yards, but averages 5.3 every time he carries that ball. Look at him here.
34 yards on the pickup for Marcus Salanoa, and again the Red Raiders on a first down in an I tandem, double wides. One split to the far side, one split to the near side. Funaki on play action, fires as Camera overthrows it, and picked off and dropped again.
Yep, Waianae had that one sniffed out. Up and down coverage on Camera.
Alan Anduha back defensively for Waianae, had an easy interception in and out of his hands.
This is what they call an up-down coverage, Kevin. As you see Funaki with a nice play fake, buying himself some extra time here, just unloads. Pass just overthrown this time, as you see Anduha and company. But there's that up-down coverage, one man on top and the other to the bottom. Camera would have been better advised to have turned that out.
So Kahuku on 2nd and 10, looking at a 5-man front is Inoke Funaki. The give to the tailback is Muliwai Pula. Pula with a 9 hard-fought yards, just shy of the first down by a yard.
One thing about a solid running attack, when you have two different kinds of runners like Muliwai Pula along with Marcus Salanoa back there, you've got one guy who's steady, can pretty much do it all, and has just enough foot speed that he can be a game breaker. Then you've got Salanoa, who's just a slashing breakaway style runner. Gives you a good two-dimensional effect in that I backfield.
Pula on the season, the leading rusher yards-wise for Kahuku, 512 regular season rushing yards as well as 8 touchdowns. They'll give it to Salanoa. Nice block. First down for Kahuku. Salanoa down the sidelines before he falls forward to the 32-yard line of Wianae.
And this just a typical Waianae Kahuku ball game, grinding it out against each other, trying to see who's going to wear down first. Jiffy Lube replay. Let's take another look at it here. Reverse angle on the ground. As we run with Marcus Salanoa, you can see how he keeps his head up, looks downfield, always looking for that little crease that can give him the advantage. And here you see the blockers, and like I said, just a good vision to pick up his blocker and ride with him. Ride him, cowboy.
Al, in the first meeting between these two, Kahuku had 20 yards rushing. They already have 58 yards in this first drive alone. Funaki fires out, and it is caught. Down to the 19, to the 18, make that the 17-yard line. Saia Hafoka making the reception, and a first down for the Red Raiders.
Well, the ball being brought back upfield. I think they're going to say he catches this out of bounds. Let's check it again, courtesy Price Busters. Again, our opposite field. There you see, as he latches onto the ball, his foot stepping on the line. That's out of bounds. This ball is coming back.
Great call by the officials. Great camera work by our sideline camera. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Kahuku still has yet to gain a yard passing on this drive. The first of the ball game. Again, I tandem, double receiver set to the near side. Pula in the backfield. Defensive line jumps for Wianae, and Kahuku will be 5 yards closer to the goal line.
You know, if you're Kahuku, you'd like to make a streak game out of this. While if you're Waianae, you want to control every facet of the game as much as possible. And that time, Waianae just premature jumps offside.
Encroachment on the defense, 5 yards. Still first down.
Danny Matsumoto telling his unit, stay in control, guys. Don't anticipate the snap count.
If anything, the aggressiveness of Waianae has resulted in occasional penalties that have basically been a problem for them all season long, Kev.
So Kahuku again in the I tandem, Pula in the backfield. The give is to Pula. Pula dancing down to the 20, to the 50, bowling over a defensive back, loses the football. Is it a fumble? No indication yet by the officials. Who's got it? Is it a Waianae football? No, they're going to say that Pula was down at the 10-yard line. So no fumble. Kahuku keeps possession.
You know, I believe his knee hit the ground and then the ball came loose. In either case, the ground cannot cause the fumble. Check it again here, courtesy Midas. Take another look at a ground level reverse angle. There's Pula dancing out of there, as you said, Kevin. Just good blocking, good front line surge. Watch toward the end here. Yeah, he's already on the ground. He's down, and then the ball comes out.
So another good break for Kahuku. Give to Salanoa. Salanoa to the end zone, untouched. Give him 6, touchdown Kahuku. 10-yard run for Marcus Salanoa, and after all of that, Al, Kahuku ends up scoring a touchdown after all, despite getting a 92-yard kickoff return for a touchdown called back because of a clip.
Well, it shows you how well they're able to handle the adversity. They started from the 10, marched 90 yards on the play, mostly on the ground, to be able to get the touchdown.
Solomon Lee for the PAT, hits the upright, no good as it bounces off to the right side. That could prove costly. However, Kahuku jumps
TV timeout on the field.
Strike blood first on a 10-yard run by Marcus Salanoa.
Very balanced attack by Kahuku. Salanoa on that drive, 2 carries, 44 yards for the touchdown. Pula carried 3 times for 41 yards. So good balanced running by this I-back tandem. As we'll take another look at the touchdown here, just a good solid surge, and Salanoa just running away from everybody.
Salanoa also got a devastating block from his lead up back, A.J. Smith.
Now the thing that's going to be important here, Kevin, on the next Kahuku drive coming up after this Wianae possession is going to see what kind of job the Wianae defensive coaches can come up with in terms of adjusting their defensive scheme. They've now seen the opening drive from Kahuku, and now what kind of adjustments are they going to make, we'll see. In the meantime, of course, we're going to take another look here at the extra point kick. And the kick no good.
6-0 Kahuku lead, and again, Al, that missed extra point could be costly in the final moments of this game.
And oh boy, how many times have we seen Kahuku get bitten by the extra point attempt? It cost him a pair of prep bowls a couple of years ago.
Red Raiders have not been known for their kicking game, and that is an area which Shiwaki Levi has seriously tried to upgrade in the last few years. Dropping back deep for Waianae, Lono Manners and Peter Sorono. Sorono lined up to the far side of the field. Manners to the near side. And 2 dangerous, not only dangerous running backs, Al, but a pair of dangerous kick returners too.
Well, the thing with all good kick returners is good vision. Neither Sorono nor Manners can be considered a breakaway back, but they have that good vision and good wheels to where if they see something, watch out.
So a little squib kick, which is taken deep inside Waianae territory, getting buried. Thomas Galderama. Galderama fielded it over his shoulder and then got swarmed under by the white and red shirts.
And certainly this is what Kahuku wanted, was to keep the ball away from Manners and Sorono, and it goes to Balderrama instead, as you see here on the kickoff. Nice spinning kick, and Balderrama, good eyes to get into it, but now really can't decide what he's going to do, and finally just decides, okay, I see some blue shirts here I go. Gets whatever he can out of it. Good job, holds onto the ball, gets good field position for his team.
Brandon Lopez, the starting quarterback for Waianae. He has alternated with Jonah Nanuha all season. Lopez, play action, fires complete and in and out of the hands, and finally caught by the receiver. Great job by Manners out of the backfield, juggling and making the catch before he falls out of bounds.
Manners actually a pretty good receiver out of the backfield. Let's see. Checking the receiving stats here during the regular season.
Manners with 18 receptions on the year, Al, 224 yards. So good threat, not only a running threat, but also a receiving one as well. 2nd down and 4. They'll give the ball to Manners on a sweep. Manners gets ripped down by his face mask, and that's going to draw a 15-yard penalty as Stephen Kumai reached out and grabbed the face mask of Lono Manners and jerked him to the ground.
That's one thing about Manners. Like I said, he's not really a breakaway back, but he has good wheels, good mobility.
Personal
Watch
foul.
it again here.
Face
He starts
mask
to the
on the
inside,
defense.
realizes everything's jammed up,
15
comes to the
yards, first
outside,
down.
and then gets wrestled down, unfortunately, by the face mask, by the Sea Rider defender there.
Again, Stephen Kumai reaching out and just simply pulling him down to the turf. Dangerous play. Kumai, however, will remain in the game, as will Manners. Again, Lopez, the starting QB, remaining under center for the Sea Riders. Option play, Lopez gets a hole, gets very close to the first down. And let's see, depending on the spot, and well, actually, he's going to be well short of the first down. Of course, as we recall, that last face mask penalty was an automatic first down. So that'll bring up second down and about 4 yards to go.
And certainly this is something that we've seen from people like Kekoa, Kaluhio, Kalani, and all those other Waianae quarterbacks. Just great runners with fairly good arms to be able to get it downfield, but certainly good runners first and foremost.
For second down and 4 yards, while just inside Sea Rider territory, give straight up to Lono Manners, and Manners gets bottled up, making first contact for Kahuku was Raymond Malu-Malayuna, as well as that guy right there, linebacker Doug Hugh.
Pretty obvious what what Kahuku's defense wants to do here, and that's take away the middle and force everything from the Sea Riders to the outside. You see Manners cutting up inside there, notices and sees that, hey, there's nothing to the side of that play, so tries to cut away from it, but Kahuku's defense doing a good job shifting over.
So third down and 3 after a 1 yard pickup. Back split, Serrano and Manners. Give is to Serrano. Serrano trying to spin, or excuse me, that's a Manners. Manners trying to spin, but he will be short of the first down by a couple of yards. So decision time here for Danny Matsumoto, and I think his mind is made up. He's going to kick it away and rely on that outstanding Waianae defense to try and hold Kahuku at bay.
Kahuku sending one of their linebackers to make it a 5-man charge, try to send more people through that gap than Waianae had blockers for.
So Grayan Enriquez back to kick, and
Timeout.
a timeout is called. You heard timeout called by Kahuku. Apparently kind of confused as to what they were going to do. Were they thinking, hey, it could be a fake? Are they really going to go for it here on fourth down? We better talk this over.
Kahuku certainly, without a doubt, very wary of Wianae, a playoff experienced team.
Red Raiders on the season, 7-1, second place in the OIA Red. Wianae, of course, going through the entire season undefeated. And again, Al, we mentioned this right before kickoff, an important game. You don't want to lose this one, even though you're going to play the MIL champ, which is not regarded as a conference that is up there with the OIA Red. You never know what's going to happen when you have to travel to Maui, which loves MIL football. Last year, packing nearly 7,000 into War Memorial Stadium. And recall last year, Baldwin upsetting Farrington in last year's HHSAA first round. Punt by Enriquez, nice bounce as it takes a Waianae bounce, continuing to roll. That's the beauty of this AstroTurf as it rolls to the 5-yard line and down there. And once again, Al, Kahuku will start deep in its own territory.
And of course the question is, though, this time, let's see what kind of adjustments the Waianae defense will make coming out onto the field. It's not too unusual that your first opening drive for either side can move the ball fairly well because the defense basically doesn't really know what you're going to do. Second time around, though, sometimes you make adjustments, and Waianae certainly over the years has shown that they're good at doing that. Let's see what they do here.
Remember, Waianae surrendered only 42 points all season long in regular season play, an average of about 5 points per game, and Kahuku has already surpassed that with its first touchdown of the evening. Red Raiders will come out with double wide split I formation set. Salanoa in the backfield. The give is to Salanoa. Salanoa the hole, right tackle, has a first down skipping. Down the sideline he goes. Salanoa with a great gain up to the 35-yard line. You talk about power football, Al. Kahuku is just hammering it down the throat of Waianae.
Waianae just coming all out, but just basically too much blocking up front, just too much of everything. Salanoa on this one tonight just having himself a career evening. And this is only the second series for the Kahuku Red Raiders. you can see they've made several adjustments coming out, of course, out of that game that they played against Waianae earlier here back in September on the 22nd.
Gain of 30 yards by Salanoa. So after a 34-yard run in the previous series, he comes back and gets 30 yards on that last carry. Play action, or the give, right up to the fullback on the fullback dive as Irvin Atuaya gets the carry.
You know, all of this probably made possible by the fact that Waianae has made one basic adjustment to their offense, and that's from time to time bringing Aaron Francisco in and telling him to do just one thing, as they say in street ball: go long.
Francisco, one of those dangerous, multi-talented players, Al, not only an all-state defensive back at safety, but also, as you mentioned, a dangerous receiver.
Because so far Waianae is putting its corners on an island, and the defensive backs at the safety positions are sneaking up little by little occasionally to try and help out on the run coverage.
At the moment, Francisco not in, but Funaki on a timing pattern as he intended it for a camera or incomplete. Camera wants pass interference or some kind of hold called against the Waianae defensive back.
I'll tell you what, they could have given up a touchdown on that one too, because that time they had for the Red Raiders going downfield, Vainapa'a. Just one play fake into the line, and Napa'a could have got himself a touchdown pass.
Interesting situation here as Inoke Funaki decides to call a timeout, and Al Kahuku, with 5:51 left to play in the first quarter, has now used 2 of its 3 timeouts, so they'll only have one remaining for the rest of the first half.
If you're the Red Raiders, of course, you basically want to put, well, we'll get back to that in just a moment.
All right, we'll be back after a short break. Kahuku leading Waianae 6-0 in the OIA championship game. This is the Aloha Stadium Stars Television Sports. Back here at Aloha Stadium as Kahuku leading Waianae 6-0. The Red Raiders finishing the OIA regular season as the runners-up, while Waianae finishing as the OIA champs.
Kahuku, as I said earlier, obviously because they can throw the ball deep downfield, wants to put Waianae behind early because the Sea Riders are not known for their proficiency with the pass. And in fact, as we take a scan back to the regular season statistics, looking at the 2 quarterbacks here, Nanuha and Lopes combined were 40%, 51 of 26 for 819 yards, 16 yards of completion, 100.24 game. So, but the important thing is only 40% passing between these 2 quarterbacks.
In the first meeting between these two, Kahuku's Inoke Funaki, 14 out of 33, a touchdown, but 3 big interceptions, but still threw for 275 yards. Second down, a little swing pass out. Looked like they were going to try a double pass as he completed it to Farron Fanoi Mawana, and Fanoi Mawana gets buried in his own backfield. Good job by the Waianae defense reading out that screenplay.
Yep, this is one that's becoming too commonplace, and you have to be able to execute that play sharply in order to succeed on it. You see that time, like I said, Kahuku, a team with a lot of athletic ability, going for the big play. Waianae, though, making an equally good play on D.
So that'll force Kahuku back to punt. They're going to run a fake. Bryson Au completes it, or Fanoi Mawana completes it to Francisco. Francisco with a first down into Waianae territory at the 36-yard line, and Shuwaki Levi, Al, pulling out all the stops in this game.
Like I said, the big play, and that is what Kahuku is all about. They have that kind of athletic talent that allows them to get away with things like this. Watch this here. Like I said, you have to be almost virtually perfect. Fanoi Mawana, they forgot, is also the backup quarterback to Inoki Funaki. And you see Aaron Francisco, as we said, he's been the big play man, the adjustment that Coach Levi has made on this offense, and they're executing the big play right now.
So what a huge momentum gainer that was for Kahuku. They keep the possession of the football. 5:06 left first quarter. Again in the I tandem, A.J. Smith, Marcus Salanoa is the tailback. The give is to Salanoa. Salanoa gets wrapped up. Good play defensively by the linebacker Brian Lave to make the initial stop.
And we'll check it out here again, courtesy No Foods of Hawaii. As you see Salanoa out of the tailback position, they're trying to put some pressure on him, and then of course Lave comes up, makes the stop at the end.
Kahuku again will come out in an I tandem with Smith, and this time Muliwai Pula in the backfield to spell Salanoa. Will get whistles. This play will be blown dead.
Six-man front for the Waianae Sea Riders, but right now they're just getting blown out of there by that huge Kahuku offensive line.
Dead ball fall. False start on the offense. Still second down.
Referee Glenn Young indicating false start against Kahuku. But like you mentioned, Al, Waianae starting to be concerned about this rushing attack of Kahuku, now starting to stack the line defensively. And we'll see what kind of adjustments that Shuaki Levi will make. Does he try to go on top and catch Waianae on a big play downfield? Waianae again will come out. This time they'll split the backs. A.J. Smith lines up as a wingback. The pitch is to Salanoa. Salanoa gets a good block. Down the sideline, that's Pula. And Muliwai Pula running over Calvin Brown. Very close to a first down for Pula.
Some pretty good adjustments here by the Waianae defense, but still, when you have someone with Pula's speed, not perhaps as fast as Salanoa perhaps, but certainly with good foot speed to break it to the outside like he does, Waianae trying to run it down from the sideline, trying to cut it off, and a good job by Brown to limit at the end there.
So third down coming up, 3rd down and 1 at the 27. Funaki with Salanoa as the deep back. Smith lines up as a wingback. The pitch is to Salanoa. Salanoa trying to get to the outside. He will get the first down. Upended, but still picks up the first down. Calvin Brown once again with the submarine tackle on Marcus Salanoa.
Yep, just a little bit extra foot speed to the outside. Watch it here, courtesy Seafood Village. You see Salanoa taking it wide. Waianae doing actually a pretty good job stringing out the sweep here as Lave comes in, and then at the end Brown coming in and upending Salanoa at the end.
One of the things we're noticing right early on, Al, is that Kahuku taking advantage of that offensive line, that huge offensive line, particularly around right tackle. They have predominantly gone outside of the tackles rather than go inside. This time the inside give is to Pula. Pula breaks it down to the 15-yard line. Close to another Kahuku first down.
Waianae just trying to stop inside, trying to look for those gaps, but they're just getting blasted out of there right now. Kahuku is averaging somewhere around 8 yards every time they touch that football, at least as far as their running game is concerned.
And a lot of credit has to be given to that offensive front. Siope Lautaha, Suliasi Lautaha, Kalabi Branchard, Joseph Napeahi, and Simisi Kauvaka, the offensive front, opening up gaping holes for the Kahuku rushing attack. A stoppage in play as we're going to have a check of equipment. Everything's okay.
And that defensive front not exactly small for Waianae either. They have Siota Mailu, 6'4", 280. Bryson Avila, 6'2", 205.
Big defensive front getting blown away. Inside counter to Irvin Atuaya, and Atuaya still on his feet, struggling forward. He is close to a first down as a player loses his shoe, and now a late penalty marker comes up, and I think we are going to have a personal foul called against Waianae, or excuse me, against Kahuku.
Irvin Atuaya, you talk about a big fullback. This guy goes 5'11", 250. He's a junior. But like I was saying, that Waianae front not exactly small itself, though, to round out their defensive line front. Perry Alafoy, 6'1", 280.
Foul. Personal foul on the offense. 15 yards. Third down.
And Leah Atuatasi, 5'10", 270. So it's not exactly a small front for Waianae either. as you watch the replay here. Here you see Atuaya just working his way down the line of scrimmage. This is Irvin. He has a brother, Magic Atuaya. Kind of gives you an idea who their favorite basketball player is in the Atuaya household.
Well, no magic on that play, literally and figuratively, as the 15-yarder pushes the ball back all the way to the 29-yard line. I believe that personal foul was assessed against the against the center, Seoape Lautaha. So a costly penalty. Instead of third down and short yardage, it's going to be third down and about 18 yards.
The difference here, though, if this were the Waianae offensive unit, the pass would be an adventure. For Kahuku, on the other hand, well,
tall task here for the Red Raiders as Pula goes now in motion. Give up to Irvin Atuaya. Atuaya dragging runners, still on his feet. Atuaya breaking free, first down for Kahuku as he rumbles to the 10. Oh, man.
And how often have we said it, Kevin? A man playing among boys. We've said that with some of the most talented, some of the largest players that we have seen to date, and certainly, I guess, Atuaya qualifies.
Irvin Atuaya, talk about a big man. Talk about a load, 5'11", 250 pounds. It finally took just about the entire defensive unit for Wianae to get him out of bounds, but not before he picked up 18 yards in the first down.
Watch this, courtesy First Hawaiian Bank. The bank that says yes was one of the slogans of First Hawaiian, and certainly I guess you could say that about Atuaya.
Boy, big mistake trying to tackle up top. Salanoa to the outside, gets cut down. He was about to lunge in the end zone, and that was a great job by Kekoa Reyes coming up and taking down Marcus Salanoa just shy of the goal line.
Great job by Reyes there. The young man, Scrappy, not about to give it up. Although when your defensive backfield is making the majority of your tackles, as you watch on this Hawaiian Airlines replay, it tells you you're in a little bit of defensive trouble. And when you think about it, this is like a nearly 94-yard march to that point.
Well, you saw Salanoa on contact actually drop the football. Lucky to get it back. Second down and goal now, just inside the 1. Salanoa, the deep back, Smith the up back. The give is to Smith. Smith tumbles over. Is he in? Yes, touchdown, Kahuku.
Kahuku keeping it simple. Mano on mano, smash mouth football. You try and stop us, buddy. And you can see there, Coach Siaki Levi, Verizon Hawaii replay coming up, and the Kahuku Red Raiders going to try for 2 on this next play. As you see Smith plunging, and I mean plunging over from the 1-yard line to cap a 95-yard drive, Kevin.
First drive went 90 yards, second drive 95 yards. This Kahuku offensive front is literally just punishing Waianae's defensive front. After the missed extra point in the first series, Kahuku going for 2. Give to Salanoa. Salanoa going nowhere.
And once
Calvin Brown did a great job, as well as Sautia Milo.
Have a TV time on the field.
Watch it again, courtesy Jiffy Lube replay. As there you see the Waianae defense closing in, as among those in there to make the stop is Sautia Milo, as Kevin pointed out, 6'3", 330 pounds, plays both ways offensively and defensively.
So 12-0, Kahuku with the lead, 1:41 left, and frankly, Al, I think that the Waianae Sea Rider faithful shocked right now at this point, allowing Kahuku to score 12 first quarter points. Remember, this is a Waianae defense that has given up only 5 per game.
And there you see the record of the current defending OIA champions. 93, 94, 95, those were all the ones when they were very close to upsetting St. Louis. Take another look at the touchdown by Smith as he just rolls into the end zone. Remember, the ball is the one that has to break the plane of the goal line, and just excellent job by Smith to roll the shoulder in and get himself into the end zone.
So Keaka Kamai, you saw him, the linebacker for Waianae, 45, just got blitzed over, rolled up. So 12-0, Kahuku with the surprise so far. Although if you're a Kahuku fan, I don't think you would call this you wouldn't call this much of a surprise.
The difference is Kahuku, unlike the last time, is not really making any big mistakes except for those early ones, but they got a little lucky on those. But the bottom line here is they are executing on the offense. It doesn't look like a rugby match out there. It looks like a football team executing, and that's one of the concerns that we're coming into tonight. A lot of us up here in the press box felt that Kahuku had to play a street football game in order to beat Waianae's control game. And right now, Kahuku just coming out and saying, hey, we can play a control game too, folks. We go 90 yards our first time, 95 yards a second. Who says we can't play conventional football?
They are really not playing conventional football right now. If the last game between these two was any indication, you talk about a total role of reversal. Kahuku getting it done in the first meeting via the air. Tonight, getting it done on the ground. So Solomon Lee, he'll try to pooch this one up again. He will. But this time, Manners is there to take it at his own 19. Manners trying to look for the wedge. He gets spun around, still fighting for something. Runs into his own man, breaks out of the pack, and finally gets tripped up at about the 34-yard line, making the stop. Soliai making the shoestring tackle to stop Lono Manners at about the 34.
Never say die is one of the expressions, of course, you hear us saying in football a lot, and that's where it counts here. Of course, with running backs, coaches always tell a good running back, you know what, keep your feet pumping, keep the feet moving. As long as you keep your feet moving, something can happen. Watch here. Manners just keeping his head up, keeping the feet moving, refuses to go down. Almost virtually runs right out of his shoe there.
So on first down, Sorono with his first give. Sorono, they tried that inside counter play, and Waianae was there waiting.
Again, Sorono, another one of these Waianae backs with a good vision, just looking for something anywhere to run. Neither one a real threat to break away. However, they have the good vision, as you see on the reverse angle here from the other side of the field. The counter that goes the other way. You see Serrano keeping his head up, and it's only a good surge by the Kahuku defense that keeps him from getting yardage.
So again, Waianae comes out. This time they will go unbalanced line as they bring in two extra tight ends into the formation. Sorono in motion. That's Lopez, back to pass, caught, down the field, down the sideline, into Kahuku territory, and it was caught by Peter Sorono, the man in motion.
And Sorono, a good receiver out of the backfield, caught a pass the last time these two played. Watch it again here. They put Sorono in motion and get a nice mismatch to the outside. In fact, they totally catch Kahuku a little bit off on this, as Sorono outruns the defensive coverage there, as you see, and only a shoestring tackle, the difference between him and a touchdown.
36 yards unofficially on the play, so Waianae looking to get something going. Lopez fires out to Manners in the backfield. Manners out to the 15-yard line before he is headbutted down by Soane Moyala.
Yeah, that time what Kahuku doing, they're just basically dropping back in a tent-like coverage, trying to keep all the Waianae receivers in front of them. So Coach Matsumoto saying, hey, you're going to do that? You know what? We've got two good running backs that can also catch the ball. Here, stop this, as they throw under the coverage.
Correction on the tackle. Bryson Ow, the safety, coming up to make the stick. Second down and less than a yard. Lopez continuing at quarterback. Lopez to the outside, looking for something on the option play. He will pick up the first down, but not by much.
Yeah, Waianae that time on second and short, just deciding to stay conservative on that rather than trying for the big play and then trying to come back on third down for the first down. Their offense moving in spurts at times, although right now moving fairly well.
Lopez will come out, and for the first time in this game, we will see Jonah Nunuha checking at quarterback. This is what Danny Matsumoto has done for most of the season, alternate Nunuha and Lopez at QB. So Nunuha in, Sorono and Manners the backfield. Give to Manners. Manners up the middle, blasted down as he gets inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. Aaron Francisco was there to make the big hit, as well as Lopeti Lawaki.
And you can see what those two pass plays, when it's set up, it made it possible to open some running room for the Waianae running backs, and they give to Lono Manners, and you see what happens. Watch it again here, courtesy Dietrich Insurance. See now the Kahuku linebackers backing up a little bit. Waianae's front line, easier time to try and block things up front. They pick up 5-6 yards on the run.
So the 5-yard run by Lono Manners will end the first quarter of play as quarter number 2 comes up, and Waianae on the short end of a 12-0 score. You look at the first downs. Look at how Kahuku has really controlled the first quarter of play, leading in the first down category 7-3. When we come back,
Have a TV
we'll
timeout on the field.
get underway in quarter number 2. 12-0 Kahuku leading. This is the Aloha Stadium Stars Television Sports. Second quarter of action coming up. Again, along with Al Morikami, I'm Kevin Hashiro, and our director on the floor, Brandon Foth. Thank you very much, Brandon. And the big man sitting opposite of me, Big Barry Villamil, our statistician. Talk about big guys. There's Shiwaki Levi, head coach for the Kahuku Red Raiders. Gotta like what he sees so far with his team up 12-0, but obvious concern right now, Waianae driving down the field and only about 5 yards, or make that 8 yards away from getting this lead cut in half.
They talk about the game not being over till the fat lady sings, and that's what you can say about Danny Matsumoto and the Sea Rider program. And in fact, I thought was kind of interesting that they also talked to Larry Ginoza, who's also very much a part of this Waianae football program still.
One of the assistant coaches. So for Coach Matsumoto, hoping his team can punch it in. This really represents an important drive for Waianae. Lopez back in at quarterback, inside counter to Serrano. Serrano trying to get to the outside, but Bryson Au is there. Ball comes loose, but they're going to say that Manners was down before he dropped the football.
Yeah, Serrano that time, like I said, one of these backs, not great speed, but good footwork for the most part, but still going wide, not his ball game. If you're going to get him wide, you put him out on a pass pattern, but simply trying to sweep him wide is not really going to net you very much. But you got to like his vision and everything here. He knows he's going to get hit for a loss, so he tries to minimize that loss by trying to angle forward and get some of the yardage back.
You saw Au, great job of him kind of staying home and not biting on that inside counter. And he also got help from Aaron Francisco, the All-State Defensive Player of the Year candidate. Third down now for the Sea Riders as Nunuha checks in. He'll try to lob pass for the end zone. Enriquez is there, tipped away at the last second. Great job by Almaji in the corner.
Yep, that play was a little too long in being set up, Kevin. It allowed Gene to actually catch up because Enriquez had him beaten on the play. Watch it again here, courtesy Royal Adventure Travel. Airfares for less. You see the ball coming upstairs here, simple fade pattern to the end zone, but that play slow to develop made it easy for Gene to catch up and be able to knock the pass away from Enriquez.
Boy, and Lopez, or Nunuha, put too much air under that. He fires it out a little bit more on a line. That's 6 points for Waianae. Big fourth down coming up. Waianae needs to punch this in if they want to get back into this game. They'll fake the play. They play action. Lopez to the end zone, tipped away, incomplete as they tried to go to the tight end. The big tight end, 93, Siotamalu, and Kahuku holds on fourth down. A huge defensive stand for the Red Raiders.
Watch this again, courtesy Mountain Dew. Very well thought up play, but an underthrown ball. Too much air the last time, not enough air this time.
Kind of curious, the intended target was Malu, more of a blocking tight end rather than a receiving one. You would have thought they would go to Enriquez or maybe go to Daryl Correa, the other tight end. Give straight up the middle, Muliwai Pula up to the 14, maybe the 15-yard line.
This is going to enliven the Waianae defense somewhat because at least they know now that, hey, their offensive unit can move the ball on Kahuku. So this is going to probably spirit them up to try and see if they can't limit Kahuku on this particular drive. As you see Pula there, you see how the Kahuku front line is just collapsing the defense for Waianae. There's no blue shirt there until about 3 or 4 yards up the field.
Look at all the players in the box for Waianae. They got 8 guys in the box, and now jumping offside. 2 guys, one A.J. Smith for Kahuku jumping first, and also one of the left defensive ends for Waianae jumping offside as well. I think they're going to call this against the Red Raiders.
Yeah, they're going to gamble here, Kevin, trying to stuff them back there.
False start on the offense. 5 yards, still second down.
As I said, Waianae taking a showboat gambler edge here, trying to stop up the Waianae defenses. They're putting their defensive backs on the on an island out there. There you see the movement.
Play action as Funaki drops back under pressure. Steps up in the pocket. He'll try to run and finally gets dropped in his own backfield. As Funaki was brought down, as Perialo Foy was the guy who got the ankle tackle, as well as that guy right there, 45, Keaka Kamai.
Yeah, that time they were lucky. They had Hafoka downfield. Also, I believe Kamara on the play. Watch again as they force Funaki to run this. If he had one more second to look up the field, he could have got that ball out either to Hafoka or Kamara.
Give credit to 76 Leah Tuatasi for getting the initial pressure. So 3rd down and 11 coming up. Single set backfield. That's Pula. Pula gets a great block up to the 17, 18-yard line before he gets throttled down to the ground by Brian Lave.
Like I said, Pula, one of these nice tweener backs. Has good wheels, has good hands. Just able to do a lot of different things with this young man. They're able to. Kahuku is. Has just enough speed to bust up through the line and go to the outside, and a nice, good, hard tackle to the turf there by Waianae's number 33, Brian Lave.
Bryson now with the punt. Decor Reyes at the Kahuku 49, up the middle. Has something developed. Up the middle he goes and finally gets dragged down to the 31, make that the 26-yard line. And making the touchdown-saving tackle for Kahuku was Joshua Hodge.
Boy, what a return on this. Watch the No Foods replay. As Reyes will take this.
TV timeout on the field.
Lianes, rather, takes it and runs it upfield. Boy, you thought he was crossing Farrington Highway.
So we'll take a short timeout as we'll take this break. 12-0 Kahuku leading Waianae on Aloha Stadium Stars Television Sports.
270,000 miles.
495,000 miles.
You want it done real fast with follow through.
146,000 miles.
Service. Really check your car out. You'll drive away with peace of mind. There is no doubt.
Jiffy Lube.
Jiffy Lube, the change will do you good. Jiffy Lube.
Back to Aloha Stadium. Danny Matsumoto has seen his team drive down the field only to have his team stall offensively, but looking to get something going here. Another good situation for Waianae. Quick give up the middle to Manners, and Manners falling forward to about the 20-yard line. So the Sea Riders trying to exploit something up the middle. They've not had much success straight up the gut this time, one of the few times in which they've had success. 7-yard gain for Lono Manners. 2nd down and 3. Big Red Machine hoping for a stop here. The Red Raiders up 12-zip. Inside counter to Sorono. Sorono skipping to the 15-yard line before he gets brought down hard by Douglas Hiu.
See, this is where basically that Sorono does his best type of running. It's between the tackles. Just able to read the little creases, and he can get there, as you saw with that nice skip step. Watch it again here, courtesy Pepsi, the joy of cola. You can see they pull one of the linemen here to create the hole. And then just good vision by Sorono just to pick and choose and find his little ways through.
Well, the Grand Goo credited with the initial hit. Manners this time up the middle, and he gets met by a wall of white shirts. Still a pretty good pickup for Lono Manners as he earns a tough 3 yards right up the gut.
And those 3 yards sometimes can be more punishing than watching a guy bust through and go for 80 yards sometimes, because it's just one play. This is a series of plays that go maybe 3-4 yards at a time. That's more contact, more wear and tear on the defense.
2nd down and 7 again. Backs are split. That's Manners to the top. Give to Manners on the fullback dive. Manners breaking forward. He will get in. Touchdown, Waianae. Lono Manners, a tough 12-yard touchdown run on a fullback dive.
And the important thing on that play, Kevin, was Manners did not give up as on the previous drive. Kept the legs churning, kept the legs pounding, and that will do good things for you. Watch it on our Seafood Village replay. Just some nice blocking, and then Manners busting to the outside. Just excellent vision, like I said, by these Waianae running backs. They're not game breakers, but they're the kind of guys that get you the good, solid, steady yardage, get your offensive move, get your offense moving, and you'll score.
Sean Babo for the extra point. He punches it between the uprights. So Al, with 7:19 left to play in this first half, we got a game.
Yes, indeed, we do.
Kahuku now sees its 12-point
TV
lead
timeout.
evaporate down to 5, 12-7. Waianae trailing now by only 5 points.
One of the problems with playing a big play offense, Kevin, is you got to have a big play defense to go with it and make the stops, rather than having a team like Waianae that can grind it out on you on the ground. Granted, we saw Kahuku launch a 95 and 90-yard drive in the first quarter, but when you take that kind of lead, you're also going to wind up putting your defense on the field quite a bit. They got to be able to stand up and play, and in this instance, Waianae's experience, they've been through all this before, and you just see how it comes through here with the touchdown run by Lono Manners. Like I said, I like how this kid and Sorono team up in that backfield. Good vision by both of them, both able to get the steady yardage.
Now Lono Manners, 518 yards rushing, 12 touchdown runs to lead the OIA. Touchdowns leads the OIA red, that is. And you talk about a power back, a guy who's got good strength, also deceptive speed, good shiftiness. That's the reason, Al, that Manners is considered to be a prime Division I candidate.
Indeed. The last time these guys met head-to-head, it was 17 carries, 44 yards for Manners, compared to just 17 yards for Pula, and then for Salanoa, just 7 yards by comparison.
So we are seeing a battle on the ground game so far. We thought that Kahuku would come out and maybe put the ball up in the air. So far, they've done it via the ground. And on the other hand, for Waianae, no surprise, they've also been continuing with its ground-oriented attack.
But also showing, Kevin, that if necessary, they can go to the air. Maybe not with the same efficiency as Kahuku has shown tonight, but certainly they can swing it out as well.
Right, so now Aaron Francisco back deep to return the Sean Babo kickoff. This will be Al at his own 6. Al looking for the wedge. Gets a hold. There is a marker down, and Al gets pummeled. Leading the charge for Waianae, Cavena Rosario to put the big stick on Bryson Al. Let's check the penalty marker that is on our side of the field at about the 33-yard line.
This is why special teams coaches tell you as a player, stay in your lane. It doesn't matter where the guy is running, stay where you are, because more than likely the play may come your way. That's what happens here with Rosario. Watch as he comes over here. He's on the other side of this play to start with, but he's right there in the middle of everything because he stays in his lane. Good discipline, kick coverage by the Waianae special teams.
Half the distance to the goal, first down.
Referee Glenn Young indicating a clip against Kahuku, so they will again be pushed back deep in their own territory. And I think, Al, this is where Kahuku likes it. Remember, their 2 scoring drives have been 90 and 95 yards respectively. They're 89 yards away from the end zone. So maybe this is how Kahuku likes it. They like to do it the hard way. Inside give, and not getting fooled was that Waianae defense as Irvin Atuaya gets bottled up as he tries to go on that fullback dive.
You might remember, Kevin, when we came here for the Aquino Classic one season, we had a team from LA. They were more dangerous from 90 yards away than they were 5 yards from the goal line. And it was against Kahuku, if you recall, too.
You see Irvin Atuaya, he got up real slowly from the pile, so he'll jog off and get a rest.
Of course, they still have A.J. Smith to bring back in, and he's another big house out there for them.
Yeah, and A.J. Smith, like you said, Al, he is no little guy himself at 6 foot even, 245 pounds. He's replacing an Irvin Atuaya kid who's 5'11", 250 pounds.
Gives new meaning to the expression, move house.
So you talk about the tractor trailers as A.J. Smith in. And they'll fake it as Funaki tries to roll around. Funaki getting dragged out of bounds. And that's a terrific defensive play. I believe Joey Cord, number 9, was there to make the stop on Inoki Funaki.
Yep, a little bit more mobile than his older brothers Vi and Kolo Funaki, of course. But I would say as lively an arm, if not a stronger arm, perhaps. Watch it again here, courtesy the Aloha Stadium replay. Nice fake by Pula, just running it up inside there, trying to get a block, realizing he clipped the guy, so just staying off of him. And actually, you look there, they almost were thinking about perhaps lateraling it to him on that play.
So third down and about 7. Funaki checks off, fires to the near side. It is caught by Kammerer. Kammerer holds on despite getting the big stick. First down for Kahuku.
Yeah, Kammerer, one of these, of course, big receivers, 6'1", 160. The fact is, he is 6'1". Watch how he climbs the stair ladder here, courtesy of First Hawaiian Bank. Just out jumps the Waianae Sea Rider coverage back there to make the catch and sacrificing the body.
Kammerer at 6'1", going against Abe Jonathan. Jonathan standing at about 5'10", so good decision there by Inoki Funaki, realizing he had the mismatch on the far side of the field. First down as Kahuku comes out again in an I tandem. They like to throw different formations at you. And again, they're going to do it. And now as Pula comes out in motion, Funaki will burn his team's final timeout.
Probably didn't like something that he saw out there. And, you know, most times a coach does give his quarterback a little bit of leeway to call a timeout if something doesn't look good, or if maybe the play they had called against the particular defense just wasn't there.
Gotta wonder if he realized that the man in motion wasn't supposed to go in motion, or if he just turned the wrong way. Whatever the case was, we will take a break as well. 5:55 left to play first half. Kahuku 12, Waianae 7 on the Aloha Stadium Stars Television Sports.
Say hello to goodbyes. Say hello to Price Busters. Say hello to service. Say hello to people who care. Say hello to quality at a lower price than anywhere. Say hello, hello to goodbyes. Everything to fit your life. Say hello to goodbyes. Say hello to Price Busters.
Welcome back to Aloha Stadium. 5:55 left to play in this first half. And Al Morikami, we've been treated to a very entertaining first half. Kahuku jumping out to a 12-0 first quarter lead before Waianae finally got it going on a touchdown run by Lono Manners. 12-7 at this vantage point in the game.
Yep, we thought at the early outset like it might be a Kahuku runaway, but the pride of the leeward side, the Waianae Sea Riders, no quitting them as they've sliced this Kahuku lead by more than half.
First down, and they'll toss it out to Pula. Pula out into the secondary, trying to outrun the Waianae secondary, and Muliwai Pula all the way to the 34-yard line of Waianae.
Yeah, that time, that was a well-called timeout. Obviously, both the coaches and I guess the quarterback Funaki saw that there was something different they could take advantage of here, and that's exactly what they did. They put Pula in the slot. Now you've got the two Waianae defensive backs on an island out there. So what do? You throw it over to Pula, and you tell him, here, run up the seam. There's nobody there, and indeed he does. Big play.
First 4 possessions for Kahuku have been through the ground. Now they're doing it in the air. And making the reception and being brought down was Vai Napa'a. Napa'a with the first time he's touched the pigskin this evening, and gets very, very close to a first down.
Yeah, you can see they're doing it again on that one. They went into the slot, had the back just simply go up the seam a couple of yards there on the hash mark, got it to him, and just let him run with it. There's nobody on Waianae that's really covering that. In fact, if you look at how the Waianae coverage is, they've got 2 cornerbacks on an island, they've got 1 safety back, and the other man is coming up to help cover on the tight end up close near the line of scrimmage.
That's right, they only have a single safety back there. That is Reyes. Funaki going to the end zone. Kammerer is there. He's got it. Touchdown.
Yeah, that time Waianae occupied again with that slot man inside there. They left their defensive back on the corner all alone by himself to cover Kammerer. Kammerer just took off, had the lead, angled in a little bit, and Funaki just hits him dead center. Watch it again, courtesy Jiffy Lube. You see how the linebacker trying to come out to help coverage there. You see Kammerer running out there all by himself ahead of the coverage man there by Waianae, and that's number 21, Calvin Brown. He manages to run by him, gets that separation. Goodbye, touchdown, Kahuku.
We mentioned the fact, Al, the first 3 possessions for Kahuku, mainly run-oriented. This possession now, they go 89 yards and most of it coming through the air. So they're doing it in both ways, Al, doing it on the ground, and now this last possession, doing it up top.
And in fact, to give you an idea of the balance of the Kahuku ball game during the regular season, 168
Dead ball
yards.
fall, delay game on the offense.
168 yards on the ground, through the air, nearly 174 yards. They came out second and first in rushing and passing, and came out second in total offense with nearly 342 yards a game. So gives you an idea of how balanced this offense is. Only problem is their special teams as far as their extra point unit is concerned.
So again, Kahuku going for 2. Now, Kahuku had to take the delay of game. Remember, they have no more timeouts left. Play clock's down to 1 second. Need to get it off. They will not. And another delay of game penalty as Funaki. Again, Waianae, Kahuku actually looking a little bit confused as they start lining up for their 2-point conversion, especially here.
Dead ball fall, delay game, offense.
Well, when you're a team that primarily concerns itself with driving the football up and down the field, somehow, I guess, when you go for a 2-point conversion, a little bit different situation. Or when you go for any extra point conversion, for that matter.
Tight formation, Francisco in motion. Funaki going to look for Francisco. Check that, he goes to the tight end. Jonathan Mapu, the defensive lineman, catches the 2-point conversion. And Al, how demoralizing is that for Kahuku, for Waianae, excuse me. 2 delay of game penalties, push the ball back to the 13-yard line, and Waianae still cannot prevent the 2-point conversion by Kahuku.
You know something? I would want to talk to Coach Levi about that, because you wonder, did he do that on purpose? Open up some room for his passing attack to try and get that play because he knows that's how it's best executed? Because he had both Francisco and Mapu in the area, actually, and it looked like what Francisco did was he's trying to get the attention of the defensive back, clapping his hands, saying, hey, here I am. And then Mapu, in the meantime, slips right in front and gets the extra point.
Mapu showing great hands for a 6'3", 260-pound defensive lineman. Remember, the kid's only a junior. 20-7, Kahuku with a 13-point lead over the Waianae Sea Riders, the OIA regular season Red Conference champions. And for the Sea Riders, Al, they have got to be shell-shocked right now.
Well, are they shell-shocked, or are they simply going to get it together? The pride of the leeward side will, and take this ball and take it downfield again. They've moved it once on Kahuku. In fact, even on that aborted drive where they almost got the touchdown and could have actually been leading this game at this juncture, or at least be within 6 points of the game at this juncture. You know, they've moved it twice. They know they can move it on the Kahuku defense. It's a matter of, do they have enough gumption to go ahead, go out there and go do it?
So Solomon Lee back to kick. Manners and Serrano standing back at their own 18-yard line. Squib kick, yes. Going to squib it. It'll be taken at about the 30-yard line. Right up the middle was Kavena Rosario. Rosario advances up to about the 42-yard line. Penalty marker right in the middle of the pile. Making the stop for the Red Raiders was Viliame Laveni Lovo.
A flipping by the return team doing the run back, 15 yards.
That is not going to help Waianae's cause. A clipping penalty when you advance the ball all the way into good field position at the Kahuku, at your own 41-yard line. Now you get that ball pushed all the way back, and Waianae's got a lot of work up ahead, Al.
That's why they say, play within yourself. Don't play out of control out there. You wind up hurting your own team.
Nunuha in at QB. Give is to Serrano on the counter. Serrano trying to see something develop, and Serrano gets all the way up to the 40-yard line, or the 35-yard line, check that.
Now, of course, as I said, Serrano, a young man with very good vision, knows how to use his blockers out there, runs a very smart game out there. As I said, doesn't have the real breakaway speed, whereas a Marcus Solano, that same play, maybe whap, he's gone to the end zone.
Tried to look for a block from Likeke Pepe'e. Couldn't get one, so short of the first down by about 4 yards. Lopez back in at QB. Lopez straight ahead to Manners. Manners trying to find something, but he will be stood up. Tuika Tufanga was there to make the initial hit.
Yep, Tufanga just manhandled his blocker, slapped him out of the way, and just charged up and made the tackle. Watch it again here, courtesy Price Busters. You see nothing but white shirts in front of there. You see how he slip blocks by the guy, grabs a hold of Manners and said, "My friend, you are going nowhere."
This defensive front for Kahuku has wreaked havoc on this very proud offensive line for the Waianae Sea Riders. I don't think Waianae expected to be manhandled like this. Of course, as you can see, Peter Sorono, he turned around to the referee and signaled a timeout with
Timeout, Waianae.
3:27 left. The play clock was winding down.
Well, Wianae is a type of team with their coach is very technique-oriented. You know, you pull here, you twist there, you come out and you turn here, and then as a running back, you angle this way, and you're looking for these things. This is what I want you to go out there to look for and everything. That's the type of team that Wianae is. Kahuku is just, hey, give me the ball, like Keyshawn Johnson says.
Give him the blank ball. I'm sure they don't say it like that.
Well, this is a family-oriented program, Kevin, so.
Oh, it sure is. You know that better than anyone, Al.
Yes, I do.
You've been here the longest with Stadium Stars.
Thank you. Do I get to collect my Social Security now?
Now, I'll just give you the check directly from my account. Correa in motion on third down. They'll play action. They'll throw a screen. Incomplete as he one-hopped Gran Enriquez. Boy, that hurts a lot for Waianae. They had the formation set up on that receiver screen, and the pass by Nunuha was one-hopped.
Yep, and they had all those Kahuku defenders all bunched together the way you want to have them in this particular type of play. And as you mentioned, the one hop, of course, slowing everything down. And basically, now they have to punt.
Well, Waianae showing that they're going to go, but they're probably going to come out of this formation as they do.
Yep, this is just good.
Deception plays. Enriquez kicks it away. Great punt. End over end kick. It'll send all the way back to the 20, but takes a super Kahuku bounce. As it was finally down, it was touched at about the 25-yard line. So great kick by Enriquez. Unfortunately for him, that ball had so much spiral that it hit right on the end of the ball and bounced backwards.
Yeah, that was a great play that Waianae tried to execute there to try and get the penalty and get the first down by doing that, because obviously they scouted something in that Kahuku special teams, thought they could take advantage of it.
Football gods must be smiling down on Kahuku for a great punt by Enriquez to bounce 5 yards back. And Al, usually punts that are spiraling, turn end over end like that, they usually result in the ball bouncing 15 yards the other way.
The other way. Mm-hmm.
First down as Funaki to the air once again as he attended that pass for Hafoka, but Hafoka not even close to making that catch.
Yeah, that time Waianae had it smelled out too as Reyes was floating over in the direction of where the pass was coming as they tried to execute that seam play one more time. Didn't work that time though. Reyes was ready. He was coming over and floating with the quarterback.
We mentioned the fact that Kahuku likes to change up their formations, and here we go again. The lineup trips to the near side. Funaki back, fires and overthrows Hafoka once again.
Hafoka would have been a little distracted on that anyway had that ball been on target, because he had one of the defenders for Waianae drifting over there watching him. Joey Korn, the 5'8", 175-pound senior defensive back, was coming over, getting ready to level Hafoka on that play.
So this time they will send the two wide receivers to the near side. A.J. Smith, the single set in the backfield on third down and 10. Waianae, here they come with a five-man rush. Funaki steps up. He will spin. Spinning, has the first down as he lunges forward to the 40-yard line. What a great play by quarterback Inoki Funaki.
Yeah, good runners, whether they're quarterbacks or running backs. They don't let that first contact slow them down. Watch it here, courtesy of Midas. Waianae has this more or less diagnosed. You see the man is in position, but the nice spin by Funaki moves out of there, and he just basically angles out and just keeps going and going and going until Waianae finally tracks him down.
So again, Waianae will face a passing formation. Again, trips to the far side. Funaki looking for a screen pass, gets it to Hafoka. Hafoka gets tripped up close to the first down, near midfield.
And what do you do when you have that kind of penetration by a defense? Well, hey, you set up the screen pass, and usually a middle screen that basically is going to make the defensive lineman charge a lot less harder next time. Watch it here, courtesy Dietrich Insurance on our reverse angle. This just very well set up by Funaki, flicks it out, and the rest of this is all Hafoka.
Second down and 1 after a pickup of 9 yards on that inside screen to Saia Hafoka. Smith and Pula in the backfield. The give is to Pula. Muliwai Pula outside, getting outside, has the first down and a lot more. Pula gets ripped down inside the 40. Penalty marker comes out. We're going to have a face mask call against the Sea Riders.
And the deadly red on the floor of Aloha Stadium. As you mentioned, Kevin, going to bring all this back. Or maybe it might actually, as you might have said, I think going to advance perhaps the Kahuku cause. Yeah.
Have an incidental face mask on a defense, 5 yards, be first down.
Incidental face mask, Al.
Watch this again. There is a rule. You cannot touch the face mask. You cannot grab the face mask. This is the lesser of the variety where the hand just happens to slap. You see right there at the end.
Whoa, that looked like a 15-yard
Yeah, it did look close to the 15-yard variety.
You saw Pula's head twist all the way around. Again, Funaki back. Hafoka's got it, and a great job by Joey Korn standing his ground and holding Hafoka to no gain on the play.
He'll get the reception, but as you say, Kevin, 0 for yardage. Watch it again here, courtesy Royal Adventure Travel. See how he swings it out, and this is the importance of being able to cover your man and being able to come up and be able to just take him down, and just a good tackle there by Korn.
And in the meantime, Al, the clock continues to tick down to 1:13 left to play in the half. Very effective drive for Kahuku, not only moving the ball, but also taking time off the clock. Funaki to Hafoka, who gets drilled. Joey Korn was there, and I guess you could say, Al, Korn did some planting.
Yeah, he did, all right. Husk and all. Watch it again here, courtesy Mountain Dew. You see Funaki looking at Saia Hafoka the whole way, as was Joey Korn, who comes up and, as you say, Kevin, plants Hafoka into the turf.
Oh, the corn is growing, Al. Beware of the corn. Funaki, back to pass. He will get tripped up in his backfield and making that quarterback sack. Great job by Mark Tuane, the big Mark Tuane, 6'4", 345-pound junior.
Yep. Players playing both ways for Kahuku and for Waianae, and more so, I guess, for Waianae as the namesake of Mark Tuane out there getting the job done as a timeout is called.
Actually, it'll be a spike play. The clock was winding down, so Kahuku had to spike the football in a curious play, Al, as they tried to spike the football on 4th down.
Well, that can
a
happen.
Weird call there, Al.
That can happen sometimes. I mean, if you talk to even at the pro level, some of the quarterbacks, Phil Simms, for instance, of the New York Giants, once completed a 4th down pass, came back to the huddle, everybody's cheering. He's asking one of his teammates, why the cheering? It was just a pass completion for 10 yards. Teammate tells him it was for a 1st down, Phil.
Well, a couple of chances for Waianae's. Nunuha will gun it way downfield, and he's going to overthrow his intended receiver, Sorono. There is a penalty marker on the near side of the field, and I have a feeling this is going to go against the Sea Riders.
But like I was saying, Kevin, sometimes you get so caught up in the game, you don't realize what the down and distance and situation is. Again, there was that situation in Denver where they had a 5th down. Nobody between the San Francisco 49ers, the Denver team realized it. Not until they were cutting the highlights at halftime did they realize there was a 5th down.
Have a legal shift on the offense, 5 yards, repeat first down.
Also, the biggest infamous 5th down play was that controversial play between Colorado and Missouri back in 1990 on a 5th down play, which nobody picked up. And that turned out to be the play of the year for Colorado, winning a share of the national championship later that year. So Lopez in at quarterback. He will air it out. This one is tipped and picked off. And making the return down the field is Kurt Fonoe Moana. Fonoe Moana down the sidelines, cutting back, loses the football, but picked up by the linebacker and maintaining his footing, but finally bringing it down. Wow, you talk about a crazy play. Lopeti Lauaki picked it up, and it looked like he may have had a seam down to the end zone.
Man, shades of Cal Berkeley versus Stanford. As unloading there is Lopez. And Enriquez, I don't know, that came pretty close to almost being offensive interference, but watch Fonoe Moana's run here at the end. This, of course, one of the Fonoe Moana family. There you see the ball popping loose, picked up by another Kahuku ball player.
That was Lauaki. Lopeti Lauaki, who made that play. So, Hal, we've seen an entertaining first half with Kahuku out on top, leading Waianae 20-7 in this OIA championship game. I will come back in the second half to do your color commentary, and we'll see what happens in the conclusion as the second half comes up here in the OIA championship game between Kahuku and Waianae. This is Aloha Stadium Stars Television Sports.
Gentlemen, students, we're going to be giving away a car in just a few minutes. So if you're going to make your way out, make sure you get back quick. It's our Oceanic Cable Tony Group car giveaway. I'm Bill Event. Annual car giveaway, as we do here at Aloha Stadium, and this is boss, who's
General Sales Manager.
yeah,
CRV stands for Comfortable Runabout Vehicle.
all right.
Absolutely not.
This is not a big step. So guys to step aside. About 10 people from the Tony Group. We got 40 selected from the stadium that are going to get to come and walk right through, turn their key inside of here, and if it opens, the car absolutely free. Let's start with our first contestant. Again, either they walked through the stadium and was one of the first 1,000 through. Go ahead, Larry. Try to open it up. One year we had our first contestant. Thank you for trying. We got some great prize contestants. Drew Wilkins. Come on, Drew. Come on. Let's do it, Drew. Waited to the second to the last contestant to do this. Thanks, Drew. Keep them coming now. We got to get back to the football. Oh, Cortero, good try. Keep on going. Somebody's going to walk away. 1 out of 50 people have the right key. Another nice try. Keep them coming. Come on, Craig Chrysler. Nope. Come on now. Tiffany, you do it. Woman's luck here. Oh, I thought she had it. Come on, Rochelle. She's a Raider fan. Raiders are doing well this year. Not too good. Okay, come on. Just do it on your hat. Let's just do it. Hey. Excuse me. Kathy, our next contestant. Keep it going. Good try. Come on, Adele. Get lucky. Turn that key. Open it up. Win a brand new car. Cable and the Tony Group. Come on now. Brandy, you got a fan club here. Nope. Come on, Daniel. Be proud and bright like that shirt. Nope. Okay, come on, Ray. Yellow can be mellow. Nope. Okay. This is serious here. He looks like he can do it. Come on, Dennis. Be a winner. Turn that key. Nope. Okay, this guy, I want to just give it to him. He's so big. He can lift the car. No, unfortunately. His Waianae in his shirt. This could be a sign. Come on, Waianae staff. No. Forget your key. A super. Come on, Lilia. Oh, I thought I heard it pop. Go ahead, Lisa. You take a stab at it. Somebody's got to win this. Oh! Congratulations! Oh my gosh! She won it. Oh my gosh! Okay, Lisa, let me see your name here. You're from what area? Okay, she's so nervous she forgot where she lives. Now, how did you get this car? Did you walk in here, or did you sign up at the Tony Group? Test drive a car? Alright. Okay, she actually tried a Nissan Xterra. Let's bring on Pokey and Stan as well. This is Kathleen from Oceanic with a nice lay. Now, stand next to these people because they're the ones that made sure you test drove the car. Pokey and Stan Masamitsu, the president of Oceanic. Stan, she's so excited, isn't that great? We're all happy here. The stadium, you got thousands of fans watching Lisa and Pokey. Again, this CRV goes to her. Do you remember her walking in?
All over the place. I can't remember who I saw her.
All right, this is great. We got another winner here. Now, all our other contestants walked out because she was about in the middle part of it. Our Waianae Kahuku cheerleaders are here. You guys can make a nice cheer for her. Lisa, where do you work at? She even got a free plug in here on Oceanic Cable Channel 16. What are you going to do? You going to use a car for yourself, or you think you'll give it away, or what? Oh, that's so beautiful. Well, is your husband watching right now? Husband, come here. Why don't you get in the car, though, and I'll get your husband in the front seat as well. Get in there, Lisa. I want to see what you look like in here. Let's see if we can roll down this window. Does it go down? Wow, this is very exciting. She's looking good in this blue, oceanic blue colored car. Is your husband wanting to come out here? Can he? He's running out here. Okay, a nice pose here. Your husband's running up real quick. Come on, Mr. Lisa. We're going to give him a lay there. Now, again, you watch Oceanic Cable Channel 16, right? Yes. Very good. That's one of the qualifications. Come right in here. We got to go to commercial break. Get a nice shot of the couple as she gives the car to you. How do you feel about that? Oceanic Cable, Channel 16 again. Congratulations, Lisa. The last name again? Right, from Oceanic Cable and the Tony Group as we give away another great car during OIA football.
again, back to action here at Aloha Stadium. Al Morikami along with Kevin Hashiro going to reverse roles here. Yours truly going to bring you to play-by-play in the second half, and Kevin going to give you the analysis of the game. And Kevin, what does Waianae do to get back in the game?
Well, Al, it's simply a matter of going back to good old-fashioned Waianae football, and that is to play defense. First half, Waianae's defense got pulverized by Kahuku's balanced attack. If you remember, in the first half, they started out rushing the football and did it very proficiently. As soon as Waianae started stacking the defensive front up, bringing the linebackers in, putting one safety back there on an island. Here comes Kahuku. They come out firing the football over the air. If you're Waianae, you need to sustain some pressure on that interior line, because that Waianae interior line, especially defensively, has been eaten up alive in this game. I'm interested to see in what Coach Danny Matsumoto had to tell his players in the locker room, and I'm sure, Al, I can guarantee this, the paint is peeling in the Aloha Stadium locker room right now.
13-point lead for Kahuku. What do the Red Raiders do to pull out the win here? They know Waianae is not going to drop dead for them.
Well, what Kahuku needs to do is, I think, continue what they're doing with this balanced attack. They're going to have to find ways to not get overconfident. Right now, you got a 13-point lead over the Red champions of the regular season, this Waianae Sea Rider team. Now you cannot become very lackadaisical. You cannot come out and say, hey, we scored 20 points on the best defense in the league. Hey, we can put it on cruise control. No. That's a big mistake, because this Waianae team, you don't know what they're going to do, which team is going to show up. The one that played good football in the first 8 games of the season, or the one that played not good football in the last 24 minutes.
Okay, so Waianae on with their kick return team. And it'll be Sorono and Manners, as usual, back around the 15-yard line. We're still waiting on Kahuku, and we're also waiting on Oceanic Cable Television.
And Al, I think we were talking right before we rejoined this broadcast in the second half. Very important for Waianae, now that they will have first crack of the second half on offense. Important for them to go down the field, drive down, and get some confidence, score. Because Waianae, if you recall, scored their only touchdown of the game so far to make it 12-7. What does Kahuku do? They come right back and take away that momentum that was Waianae's, score a touchdown to make it where it's at right now at 20-7.
So now Kahuku deploys their kickoff team. And it will be for the Red Raiders. Solomon Lee, 5'8", 140, a junior to kick off. Sorono and Manners not showing Lee much respect as they come up around the 20-yard line.
They expect Lee to pooch this one up, as he has been most of the game, Al.
Well, now he changes his mind. He'll launch this, and it'll be a challenge for Sorono from about his 21. Turns it up to his 30, 35, 40. Breaks out into the open to midfield and gets Waianae immediately into Kahuku territory at around the 48.
And just when we say Waianae needs a big play for some inspiration, they get it. That was a great return by Peter Sorono, taking advantage of a couple of good blocks. We'll see it on the first Hawaiian Bank replay. Check out the block by 24. Great block there to hold up one guy. Another great block around the left side. Then you can see the wall and the crease starting to form. Another great block there by one of the upbacks. Sorono weaving his way. Good pickup on the kickoff and good field position for Waianae to start.
And it'll be Jonah Nunuha handing off to Lono Manners, and Manners immediately right away slams up the gut for about a good 9-yard gain.
And interesting to see Waianae coming out right away and not panicking, realizing down by only 13. Hey, there's still a lot of time left in this game. There's no point in pushing the panic button. Hawaiian Airlines replay. We'll check it out in this fullback dive as Manners gets it up the middle. Great block by the center. Number 77 for the Sea Riders, Sautia Milo, the center, making a nice cut block down low to spring Manners up for 9 yards.
And now Lopez going to come on to quarterback. They've been doing this all season long, the Waianae Sea Riders have. Trying to give different looks and trying to give a different field every time out. Second and short. Ball at the Kahuku 39. Throwaway down situation. Waianae will stay conservative, keep it on the ground, pick up about 4 yards on the play to the 35 of Kahuku. First down for the Sea Riders.
Once again, following the big centers, Sautia Milo. Milo, a big kid, 6'3", 330-pound senior. We'll see it again on the Verizon replay. Again, they go with that old-fashioned fullback dive right up the middle. Kahuku kind of waiting back, trying to see what Lopez is going to do, whether he's going to pull that ball back out and run that option to the other side.
And now it's Nunuha's turn. Correa coming in motion. Back to the middle to Sorono, hits the middle of the line, and it hits back. Kahuku's defense line does. Boy, I thought for a moment, looked like Sorono ran into a rock wall. Watch the Jiffy Lube replay.
Watch big number 70, Raymond Malumaleuna. He comes out of nowhere to make that big hit on Sorono, and that's a good job of Malumaleuna finding that hole. The hole was there, but closed quickly by the big 6'3", 290-pounder.
2nd and 10, ball at the 35 of Kahuku. Waianae with the ball, gonna go upstairs. Lopez unloads, has Enriquez downfield, double coverage, and the play out of bounds. Luckily, because it was picked off.
Not a good pass as well by Lopez as he kind of aired it up for the receiver, as he kind of underthrew that one. And also, you got to give a lot of credit to Aaron Francisco, who picked off that pass out of bounds. Good closing speed he had there.
So 3rd and 10 now for Jonah Nunuha, who comes on. It's his turn. Enriquez to the bottom of the screen. Everybody else in double tight end formation as they send Sorono in motion. Here's Nunuha. Has time. Fires. Incomplete.
Oh, that ball wasn't even close, Al, as he had Sorono at about the 12-yard line, but threw it way behind him.
Sorono actually went outside when it looked like he should have gone inside on that pass play, or maybe it was the pass that should have been outside. 4th down anyway.
You talk about a big play coming up here, Al. 4th down. Again, we mentioned the momentum after Waianae gets that good kickoff return by Sorono, now facing this 4th and 10.
You know, we continue to be Sorono and Manners in the backfield. No change there, but this time it's Lopez at quarterback. Sorono comes in motion to the near side. The throw and the rush on the play by Kahuku makes Lopez have to hurry that, coming up and almost making the sack. Lautaha.
We'll see it again courtesy of Price Busters, as you see the pressure there on the quarterback. And really Waianae curious as to that play call as they tried a little out pattern. They needed 10 yards, and even if that pass was completed, that pass play would have been only good for about 4 or 5 yards at the most.
And they needed 10. So on the turnover on downs, Kahuku football from the Waianae 35. Salanoa angling off the far side, picks up yardage to around the 40.
Again, Al, Kahuku, we mentioned this in the first half. We see Kahuku with Marcus Salanoa going almost exclusively with that off-tackle play. See a quick give up to Salanoa at the top, following that right tackle up. And you mentioned back in the first half, Al, that sometimes these 3 or 4 yard runs could be the most devastating. That's because you're getting, the defense is getting a lot of contact and thus being worn out a little bit more.
So 2nd down and flag on the play. This comes from the defensive backfield. That's usually when they spot some kind of illegal procedure by the offensive line, or perhaps one of the slot backs or one of the wingmen.
I think they're going to get the defense for jumping
dead ball
offside.
fall. Coachman on a defense, 5 yards.
And Romel Reed, 59, was the guy who jumped a little bit too quickly for Waianae, and that's going to cost him 5 big yards, Al. So instead of 2nd and 6, it's going to make it 2nd down and 1. Midas replay. Check out 59, the left defensive tackle, as he stepped right into the neutral zone.
In the old days, they used to just try to decide that you get back on time. Nowadays, no such thing. You step in there, that's it. Pow, end of story. So on 2nd and 1, Salanoa, as Kahuku basically looking to take time off the clock, going to stay on the ground, picks up the 1st down after a couple of yards out to the, call it the 47-yard line of the Red Raiders.
Again, they're following that right tackle, Al. We'll see it again on our Dietrich Insurance replay. They love going onto that right side, and obviously the Kahuku coaching staff sensing that they can exploit Waianae's left defensive front, because that's where they've been attacking most of the time with the run.
So now 1st and 10, ball at the Kahuku 47. Sea Riders trying to get the ball back, but Salanoa on the Kahuku carry busts into Waianae territory down around the 46-yard line. He'll take his time getting up off the carpet.
Here's our Marukai 99-cent shop replay. Watch the left side. see the right guard kind of pull as Kahuku makes a nice, simple trap lock up. As Salanoa picks up a good 7 yards on the play.
So following the gain, second down, 3, ball at the 46 of Waianae. Kahuku going on another steady march here. This time to the air goes Funaki, but he will not get it off as he will be sacked and dropped at around midfield.
Leah Atuatasi, 76, was the first guy there. There you see him on your screen. Atuatasi, one of the more outstanding defensive players in the OIA Red Division. This is a guy who makes a lot of plays defensively up front. Short in stature, only 5'10", but a bulky 270 pounds. Very strong, athletic kid. You see it again on the replay by Royal Adventure Travel. You saw Funaki just drop back and simply a bull rush there by Atuatasi getting at the quarterback.
Second down, 5, ball at the Waianae 47 officially, 48 rather, excuse me. And Pula on the ground. Pula, first down yardage and more. Pula into the open. Pula, nobody will catch him. Touchdown, Kahuku.
And how demoralizing is that for Waianae? You know the play is coming, and again, Kahuku exploiting that right side tackle. We'll see it again on our replay, and Al, I'm noticing something. The guy lining up at right tackle for Kahuku, Chris Kimoeatu. And I've noticed that Kimoeatu has played that game predominantly on the right side, so obviously, Shiwaki Levi pulling out all the stops.
And the extra point is no good, as once again the extra point kick for the Kahuku Red Raiders proves to be less than successful.
The timeout on the TV timeout on the field.
We mentioned Shiwaki Levi, Al, as you see the scoreboard, the 26-7 lead. But what a shocking instance there. You see Muliwai Pula with the super and fabulous touchdown run. But again, I am noticing, Al, that Chris Kimoeatu, who is an all-state defensive lineman, they have inserted him into right tackle, and that's where he's played most of the game. And remember, Al, Kahuku attacking the right side of that offensive line where Kimoeatu is lined up. We'll see it again on the replay. Watch you see Kimoeatu, well, he gets beat there on the play, but again, he's not required to make any blocks, and that's simply a matter of speed by Muliwai Pula, racing down. An easy 6 points for Kahuku.
They make it look so easy, whereas they struggled back in September on the 22nd. But they've had all those games since then to slowly bring everything together, and for right now, everything except for their extra point kicking game is pretty much clicking right now for Kahuku. Yep, you see Coach Levi very aware of today's modern media coverage.
He doesn't mind being on the big Jumbotron with his team with a 19-point third quarter lead.
And you see his gestures obviously telling his team, keep your focus where it belongs, on the field.
Again, we talked about Kahuku not being complacent coming out of the locker room despite holding a 13-point lead. What do? They hold Waianae and then score a touchdown themselves.
Ball will drop into Serrano's hands at about the 20. Tries to bring it up the middle, tries to escape, a Kahuku tackler won't do it, but still will get the ball up around the 29. As coming in to make the stop is number 52 of the Red Raiders. And that was Tony Ngalu, a linebacker, 6'1", 200, a junior.
Right now, Kahuku making plays on every end now. You mentioned with the exception of the kicking game, Kahuku has done a fine job in slowing down this Waianae attack.
An attack that's pretty much ground-oriented. Waianae only 6th in passing in the Red Conference, offensively speaking, as Daryl Correa comes in motion to the near side. The cross-buck backfield buying some time, and the pass almost picked off as it was intended for Enriquez, as covering on the play, Bryson Au.
And that's a good job by Au, because Enriquez had that curl pattern to the outside and he came open, but a good job by Bryson Au with that closing speed. We'll see it on this replay. Play action on that counter play. Here's Lopez. Going to look outside. You're not going to see the closing speed as Bryson Au is right there to knock that ball away.
See what they set up here on second down, ball at the Waianae 29. As Serrano in motion to the top of the screen. Lopez under pressure. Lopez will go down. And Douglas Hugh getting the credit on the quarterback sack of Lopez, as this will bring up third down and frequent flyer mileage time for Waianae.
Yeah, Douglas Hugh on top of your screen, straight up the middle with that linebacker blitz, and Lopez had no chance whatsoever.
Saltia Milo beaten on the play. Mailo. As third down and 22 from the Waianae 17. Grain Enriquez with the reception, but he will not pick up very much. In fact, he will lose yardage back to from the 22 to the 20-yard line on the Nanuha completion.
Well, you talk about a swarming Kahuku defensive unit, Al. They tried that screen pass. It looked like it was going to work, and then all of a sudden, here comes the rush. It looks like the rush was going to be beaten, but they have so much speed on that line that they simply come out and they catch Enriquez from behind. I mean, look at that. You got red or white shirts all over the place.
Just good athletic coverage as the kick comes out and out of bounds along the Kahuku, about the 33-yard lines where it should be. No, they're going to say back to the 31 now is where the ball went out of bounds. And there you see our line score for Kahuku. Waianae cracking the goose egg only once in the second stanza.
And this Waianae defensive front, Al, is just simply getting worn down. First half, remember, Kahuku started off with 90-yard drives, a 95-yard drive. They also had an 89-yard drive. They are just simply wearing down this Waianae defensive front.
Coach Siaki Levi opting for a more balanced attack compared to their earlier years. As on 1st and 10 from the 31, here is Salanoa out racing the Waianae secondary. Gets pushed out finally at midfield by Anduha, I believe.
Terrific lead block by the fullback A.J. Smith to spring Marcus Salanoa. Salanoa actually almost lose the football briefly before he finally trapped it. But again, 45 A.J. Smith, a great block to spring Salanoa to the left side.
So Kahuku, first down 10 ball in Waianae territory at the 48. Out of the I formation, here's Salanoa spinning, turning, getting a couple of yards, but more importantly, the clock turning and taking time away from any possible Waianae comeback right now.
You mentioned the clock, Alan. This ball control attack of Kahuku is so efficient when we are under 5 minutes left to play in the third quarter. So slowly, Al, with Waianae trailing by 19 points, remember, this is not a team that is apt to come back because they do not put the ball up in the air very well. And time is now starting to become a factor in this game for Waianae, even though we have a full quarter and 4 minutes left to play.
From the Sea Rider 44, 2nd and 6 for Kahuku. Pula on the ground, grinding it out very near a first down. Pickup of about 4, maybe 5 on the play to inside the 40 to the 39 of Waianae. Seafood Village replay, Kevin. Let's take another look at it. Reverse angle.
Well, simple play right up the middle following the center. Big Sioapilau Taha. Again, they're just grinding it out, Al, against this Waianae defense, which has got to be exhausted by now.
So third down 1, ball at the 39 of Waianae. To the air, Inoki Funaki under some pressure. He'll run for it, has some room. First down yardage and more, down to the 25, 20. Down to almost the 15, 16-yard line where he's finally taken out of bounds.
How athletic is Inoki Funaki? Kolani Brown, the blitzing outside linebacker for Waianae, had a quarterback sack right in front of him, but Funaki, elusive enough as you see him get away from Brown on that quarterback scramble. And check out, we're going to see a good block here by Muliwai Pula coming up right there, springing Inoki Funaki for an extra maybe 5 to 7 yards.
So 1st and 10 ball at the 16 of Waianae now, and another possible Kahuku score threatening here the Waianae defense. As on the ground, Kahuku stays behind Marcus Salanoa, who picks up a couple to about the 16-yard line. Gain of 5 on the play.
That was Keaka Kamai with the stop. Remember, Kamai had a shoulder injury a few weeks ago, so he's playing a little banged up. But then again, at this juncture of the game, Al, his entire defensive mates are also being dinged up as well.
Inside of 15 minutes left to play in the ball game, 3 minutes from the quarter break. As back to pass is Funaki on 2nd and 5. And instead, he will keep it on the ground, take it himself, and he makes the play, the touchdown, Waianae. Or excuse me, Kahuku, I should say.
On a terrific run by Inoke Funaki. I mean, you got to give Waianae credit. They recognized the screen pass was coming. They had the blitz on. That all of a sudden the defensive backs kind of pulled back and realizing the screen was coming their way, and all of a sudden Funaki tucks it under, runs the opposite way. Great spin move to get out of that Kekora Reyes possible tackle, and Funaki skips and hops his way to the end zone.
You know, ESPN, as you watch the extra point kick up and good.
No
good.
Hit the upright.
And I think that was Sabito that time, maybe, that they it wasn't. It was Lee that they went with, Solomon Lee on the extra point kick. Makes you wonder why they didn't go for Savannah Sabito. I mean, you're so far ahead. Why not? But we'll take another look at the touchdown replay here. But, you know, ESPN had a feature on the NFL about quarterbacks and about running quarterbacks especially. And Randall Cunningham, Bubby Douglas, two guys that almost got 1,000 yards in each of their seasons. They basically said, hey, the coaches told me make plays, so if I had to run, I ran. And basically Funaki showing exactly that philosophy there.
Funaki, 5'11", 180-pound junior. And they say that athletic quarterback's the wave of the future, Al. And certainly Funaki is one of those. We'll see it on the Hawaiian Airlines replay. Watch this. The Waianae sees the screen pass coming, and then watch them back up. See them? They're starting to back off. Funaki realizes that the defense has reacted. He tucks it under, runs towards the weak side where nobody is there. Nice spin move out of that tackle. Spins away, again away from Kekora Reyes, and he gets into the end zone easily. I mean, you talk about intelligence, Al. I think for most junior quarterbacks, you would start to see, you would force that situation, try to force that screen pass. Instead, Al, Inoke Funaki has the intelligence and that athletic prowess to tuck it under when he realizes the play was not going to work.
So in the meantime, the kickoff comes down and sails into the hands of Lono Manners, who sets sail over the 30 to the 32-yard line, where it'll be Waianae football, and the Sea Riders trailing 32-7, 2:43 remaining to the quarter break. As you take a look there, you see the dominance of Kahuku this evening. The only time that Waianae scored that second quarter. Other than that, it's been all Kahuku. And the Sea Riders, Sorono, going to ask for a timeout, and he'll get it. Apparently some confusion out there, and they will come over to the sidelines and talk it over with Danny Matsumoto and company.
Well, you can see it's not quite panic time. Well, down by 25. I guess you would call it panic time now for Waianae. As Nunuha, you saw in that previous play before he called a timeout, drop back in shotgun. They're also bringing out some fresh set of offensive linemen. 78 for the Sea Riders. Dusan Mizukami, 6', 260-pounder, is checked in at left guard, or left tackle for Waianae. So trying to get some fresh players out there as they will now attempt out to spread the offense out and get back into this game.
So from their own 33, 1st and 10, out of shotgun. Manners trying the middle, nothing doing as he runs into a solid door of Waianae, or excuse me, Kahuku defensive players. Talk about getting the door slammed in your face. Watch this.
Price Busters replay. And I'll tell you what, doing some busting. Number 51, Douglas Hugh. There he is, right at the top in the middle of your screen. And Douglas Hugh, I think, has really been the plug for this Waianae defense. He has been there to make tackle after tackle. He has not gotten beaten a lot. He is there to make plays, to stop this running attack, and it's so key for the middle linebacker.
2nd down 8, ball at the Waianae 35. As Lopez launches it downfield in the general direction, or maybe that was Sorono, I believe, on the play, but launched it in the general direction of Sean Bebo. The 5'9", 160-pound senior receiver not able to get a hold of it. As that ball thrown well away from him. Watch it again here, courtesy of Midas.
We'll see it again as you see Lopez just drops back. He fires, but ball was open. Again, you simply threw it over that wrong shoulder. Now if you're Kahuku, Al, it's just a simple matter of just dropping back and letting Waianae come to you, knowing that it is desperation time.
Again, from their own 35. 3rd down, 8. And scrambling around is Nunuha, looking to make something out of nothing, and he will get exactly that, nothing, as he's brought down at his own 35-yard line.
Kealoha Kaio making the stop from behind. You see Nunuha just trying to scramble and wait for that pattern to develop, just sees nothing before, again, the pursuit by this Kahuku defense is swarming, and it's reminiscent of the defense we're used to seeing at St. Louis, Al, swarming defense.
So on 4th down, Bebo boots this away. This will take a Kahuku bounce back to around the 40. And they rule the ball dead at around the 41, 42-yard line, right between there.
Also got a penalty marker right in the middle of the field, Al. I think we're going to have a personal foul penalty. No indication yet who they call it on, but I mean, it's been a frustrating game for this Waianae Sea Rider team, and if it's against them, no surprise, really. I mean, you're talking about the #1 team in the OIA. And the way they're just getting manhandled on the field, certainly you can understand the frustration.
And with that ball fall, personal foul on blue.
And there you see Danny Matsumoto very upset with the situation. But this is something he's looked at all year long. And certainly, if you're Kahuku, you were embarrassed by turning over the ball
7 times.
7 times in that ball game. 4 interceptions, 3 fumbles. They've come back and they've zipped up the pride, and they've gone out there and basically gotten the job done for the most part.
And Al, you mentioned the 7 turnovers in the first game. 2 of those resulting in 2 Waianae touchdowns. The only 2 Waianae touchdowns this game. They have not turned the ball over. They have taken care of the football.
And a penalty marker goes flying. See what this is all about. Joe Spurrier now in at center for Kahuku, we should mention.
And a new
With that ball
quarterback
fall,
as well.
encroachment on the defense, 5 yards, still 1st down.
Well, Kahuku and Waianae both with, of course, state tournament berths to think about. As Fanoi Moana now at quarterback, 1st and 5, ball at the Waianae inside the 40-yard line. As a little change up in the backfield is running with it that time for Kahuku is number 20, Colby Unga, a junior running back. Goes about 5'10", 180.
Now we're starting to see Coach Shuaki Levi putting in some of his reserves. You mentioned Spurrier, the backup center, is in. Farron Fanoi Moana, the new QB. Colby Unga is back there. We're going to probably see Travis Kaka come in to see a couple of snaps for Kahuku as a tailback.
So on 2nd down, call it 7 from the 41 of Waianae. The pass fired downfield and picked off, as waiting on it back there for Waianae defensively is number 34, Salvador Parangas, a 5'7" junior defensive back, goes about 145 pounds.
Well, the first turnover for Kahuku occurs at the 32-second mark of quarter number 3. I mean, badly underthrown by Farron Fanoi Moana, but it may be a little consequence, Al, up by 25 points.
So now Waianae football, 1st and 10 at their own 14. And of course to the airwaves they go behind Lopez. The sliding grab, I believe, by Enriquez. They're going to say catch.
That's a terrific catch by Grain Enriquez, and he says, wow, did I make that? Yes, you certainly did, Mr. Enriquez, all the way to the 39. Beautiful pass play. I mean, what Kahuku is basically doing right now, they're just sitting back in the zone. They're letting Waianae get to some of those seams as long as they don't allow the big play.
So that brings up 1st and 10 for the Sea Riders. Ball at their 39. Sorono in motion to the top of the screen. The Nuha wanting to fire. Will they rule his arm was going forward? It looked like. They're going to say incomplete pass as Lopez' arm was coming forward.
And the big pressure was put on by Raymond Malu Maleuna. 6'3", 290 pounds. Boy, even his name is heavy, Al. Watch Malu Maleuna. Oh, look at that great athletic ability. You saw him hurdle right over that offensive lineman who tried to cut him down. Outstanding play by the senior defensive lineman.
When you consider the size factor as well. That brings up 2nd and 10, ball at the Waianae 39. Lopez under some pressure, trying to pass, rolling it out, looking downfield, can't find anything, and finally will be brought down. As coming in there for Kahuku was number 43, Lopeti Lauaki, the linebacker, 5'9", 190, a senior.
Again, the guy making the pressure was Raymond Malu Maleuna. He simply just went forward and crushed the center, Siope Lautaha. We'll see it on the Mountain Dew replay. Watch the nose tackle. Watch number 70 right up the middle. Check, look at that. He abuses the center for Waianae. Nearly gets quarterback Brandon Lopez before Lopez is finally chased down to end quarter number 3.
So at the end of 3 quarters of play, 32-7, Kahuku over Waianae. This is Aloha Stadium Stars Television Sports. And back to action here at Aloha Stadium. And stand by for our Midas fantastic face of the game. That will be coming up sometime in the 4th quarter. Meantime, to reset the situation for you, again, ball at the Waianae 37, 3rd and 12 for the Sea Riders who need to cash in some frequent flyer mileage here.
Boy, they'll have to go all the way to the East Coast and back out if they want to get back into this game.
Correa in motion to the top of the screen. Back to pass is Nunuha, and he will be planted back at around his 28-yard line. Incomplete pass. They say the arm coming forward. Regardless, it is 4th down, Waianae.
Hey, Al, what do you do on 3rd down and 13? You're up by 25 points. What do? Do you go back in your zone and let the pass come to you? No, you blitz. That's what Kahuku did. They let it all hang out right there. They blitzed on that 3rd down play, making sure Waianae does not get a big play offensively to get a little bit of momentum back.
And Bebo unloads. And this taken by Bryson Au. Circles to the other side of the field, losing yardage to inside around his 10-yard line where he's finally tripped up. Bryson Au trying to make a comeback in the round situation on the kick return, can't do it. Instead, Waianae chases him back to his 10. Watch this courtesy of Mountain Dew.
Oh boy, you talk about a mistake there by Bryson Au. I mean, he's be up by 25 points and to do this risky play. I mean, you have to laugh a little bit and kind of chuckle at it, but I tell you what, you can do this in this situation, being up by 25 points, Al. If you do that in the state playoffs, I don't care who it is, whether it's Maui, Kauai, from Waimea from Kauai, or St. Louis, that's going to come back and haunt you.
Mm-hmm. Certainly most will.
So there's a penalty marker, obviously, on the play out.
A personal foul on a kicking team. We got a personal foul on a receiving team. Replay the down.
Oh, and you talk about a break, Al. Wow. A minus 21-yard punt return negated by offsetting personal fouls. Yikes.
You were right about one thing, Kevin. The football gods are smiling on Kahuku tonight, most certainly. Bryson now obviously letting out a very deep breath after that one. I mean, when you lose 25 yards on a play.
And most certainly maybe survives a little bit of a chewing out by the coaches. Although I'm sure the coaches will still let him have it when he comes back to the football sideline for Kahuku.
So Bebo once more. Or rather, launching it this time for Kahuku is number 33, Brian Lave. As he unloads, and Enriquez tries to make something out of nothing.
Well, even Enriquez has had a good night. One of the few players who've had a stellar night, but that's punting, Al, and punting will now win you ball games.
Very rarely does it, and you only have to do it very little. As again, Kahuku with their reserves, plowing up the middle of that Waianae defense, is carrying on the plays. Colby Unga once again. Watch it here, courtesy Menehune Water Company.
Here we go. As you see Unga with the fullback dive. Like you said, Al, Kahuku with their reserves. Also, Waianae starting to empty their bench. Russell Bell, the line reserve 6'2" linebacker, also coming in.
You know, you're going to hear from him in the future. He's a very good prospect. Just that they have so many good players. What do you play somebody that good? As in the meantime, Fanoi Moana on the run, breaks loose, gets by everybody. The referee's whistle had blown, and let's see.
I think they're going to say that Fanoi Moana's knee actually touched the ground, Al. I don't know if the knee touched or if there was an inadvertent whistle. Well, I don't know if Fanoi Moana's knee touched the ground, but nonetheless, I mean, we distinctively, we heard a whistle blown, but none of the other officials on the field blew the play dead. Glenn Young, what do you have to say?
An inadvertent whistle. The offense elects to take the result of the play. Your first down.
All right, so regardless, it's a Kahuku first down in Waianae territory once again at the 48.
Wow, inadvertent whistle. So obviously Fanoi Moana's knee did not make contact with the ground.
Double slot formation for the Kahuku Red Raiders. Man in motion to the near side. Handoff is to the fullback up the middle as Unga just plows his way ahead and picks up nary almost a close to first down yardage here. They'll give him about 9.5 to out around, call it the 39-yard line. No, they're going to say, does he have enough for a first down, or will they measure? No, they're going to go ahead and give him the first down. Let's watch it again.
Fullback dive to Colby Unga. Nice piece of running there by Corey Unga, fighting his way upfield for the first down. I guess, Al, what do you call this type of running? The Unga Munga?
I guess so. Man in motion, and this time the pitch out to a different runner for Kahuku. This is Kealoha Tawa, a wide receiver, 5'8", 160, a senior. So as you say, Kevin, Kahuku emptying the benches and allowing some of their second-string players to play, including some of their senior members.
Also, Waianae trying to empty their bench a little bit. They know that they will live to fight another day, except they're going to have to do it the hard way. There's the pitch out back there to Tawa. And Taua right upfield. Super open field tackle there by Reyes.
So that brings up 1st and 10. Ball now at the 26 of Waianae. As Unga on the carry, breaks to the outside, goes down the far sidelines and motors all the way to around the 10, down to around the 5-yard line.
Boy, and this Waianae defensive front just demoralized, Al. They have been beaten up. They've been pushed around. They've been bullied. Colby Unga, again, it's just a simple fullback dive right up the middle. Super run by Colby Unga down to the 6-yard line.
And other than 2 turnovers that were called back, Kahuku has not turned over the football at all so far.
Except on that one occasion on the interception.
Yeah, that's true. Forgot about that. There are only 1 turnover as Unga carries to inside the 5 to the 3-yard line. But what an improvement. 7 the last time these two met in the regular season, now just 1, an inconsequential turnover at that.
Yeah, that one interception was made when you already established a 25-point lead.
Boy, if you think about takeaways versus giveaways, that's +6 in your column. As Kahuku coming to the line.
Timeout, Waianae.
And the Waianae Sea Riders going to take a timeout here with 8:26 remaining in the final quarter of play. 32-7 our score. Kahuku leading Waianae, as you see there.
One of the things, Al, is if you're Kahuku, I mean, this is a fantastic coaching job by head coach Shiwaki Levi on the left side of your screen. And one of the reasons why, Al, was so important for this game is not only you're going to be crowned OIA champs, Al, but also the reason why you wanted to win this game. You get to stay home and play the KIF champ. Not to say that playing Waianae, who is the Kauai Interscholastic Federation champ, is going to be easy. That's not going to be an easy game, despite the small numbers that the Waimea Menehune have. But you get to stay home. You get to practice on a routine. You get to go to school, go to class, practice at your own home field, sleep in your own bed. How many times have we heard that about staying at home and playing? For Waianae, now they're going to have to go to Maui. Hey, Maui's not an easy place to play. Just ask Farrington, which was upset by Baldwin last year. And I'll tell you what, Maui fans love their football. There's going to be 7,000 crazy Maui fans screaming for the Sabres, the MIL champs.
So on second down, goal to go from just inside their 5-yard line. The Panoy Moana pass falls incomplete as he underthrows his intended receiver on the play. Take another look at it again, courtesy Seafood Village.
We'll see it again here. Ball and it baps that linebacker right in the head.
Well, that's one way to play defense with your head.
Fortunately for Waianae, they didn't get too many of those this evening.
Unga in the backfield, double slot formation, and a man goes off for Kahuku. This will be a Red Raider penalty.
I think we're going to see that right tackle, one of the reserve offensive linemen, jumping offside, Al.
The dead ball fall. False start. On the offense, 5 yards. Still third down.
Lions Pearl, 65. 6-footer, 270-pounder.
8:22 remaining in the ball game. Timed the enemy of the Sea Riders down by a bunch, 32-7.
One thing, Al, I like about this game, how about the fans? They have been outstanding coming to this game, Al, from the North Shore and also from the leeward side.
On third and goal from just outside the 9, the flags go flying as I believe this will be a delay of game. The game's starting to break down, get a little sloppy here as both sides operating with second and third teamers on the field now.
The dead ball fall. False start. On the offense, 5 yards. Still third down.
So ball back to the 14-yard line where it'll be third down. Maybe Coach Levi has another play designed for this situation. We'll see. Panoy Moana comes up. I formation, ends are split. From the far hash mark, Panoy Moana curls out to the near side, looking downfield, throws it for the end line of the end zone, out of bounds. As the saying goes, this would have been good in Canada, as making the out of bounds grab on the play is Moana Hafoka, Saia's brother. Watch it again here.
Yeah, we'll see it again. This is close, Al. This is almost the exact same play we saw happen earlier in this game on that touchdown pass to Jonathan Mapu, who was coming out of his tight end formation. Almost the exact same play, except this time they use Hafoka, Moana Hafoka, the reserve receiver, to run that curl pattern from the other side of the field.
So double slot formation now from the far hash mark. Fourth down, goal to go. Ball at the 16-yard line. 14-yard line, excuse me. Screen pass play set up for Unga, and he will score easily. But hold the phone, we got a yellow flag at about the 18-yard line.
I think this is coming back. You see referee Glenn Young, Al, motioning to the Kahuku offensive guys. Hey, hold on, fellas.
Coach Young, of course, a former Iolani Red Raider basketball coach, I should mention. Took over from our erstwhile mayor, Canada.
Flipping on the offense, do the loose ball. 15 yards, still fourth down.
Mufi Hanneman, another Iolani graduate, who of course was the coach, succeeded by Coach Young.
We'll see it on the replay here. I'm not sure if we'll be able to detect the clipping play, Al. But here we go. They set up that screen pass. They check off on the right side, and they get it off to Colby Unga, running that screen play on the far side. Great job by the receiver upfield, taking out a pair of Sea Riders, but all for naught. And it came back.
So this will bring up fourth down now. Goal to go. Ball at the 29. Little flip pass out from Panoy Moana, and oh, what a collision. fellow in the booth next to us over nearby going to qualify that for his cartouche of the year.
Wow, Calvin Brown laying the hat. Hawaiian Airlines replay. Al, I'll tell you what, this ball came close to being a fight. And you see that. Oh, man. And now we got pushing and shoving, Al, and now the frustration's starting to boil over. Oh, you hate to see this. You hate to see this.
It's been a well-played ball game for the most part until now that things are getting really ugly out there. And there goes the flag, and you just know a couple of guys are going to get tossed from this one. We got 3 flags across the field. One around the 15, and you got one more at about the 27 and about the 24-yard line. So some people are going to get tossed from this ball game.
Not only this ball game, Al, but there's going to be a number of players who will not play in the first round of the HHSAA state tournament. I mean, all the coaches are coming out in the field, and you got to give the coaches a lot of credit for getting discipline, for reestablishing the discipline. Leo Ta'aka, the former head coach for Waianae, has come out on the
Have a
field.
dead ball foul, personal foul on the defense, on White.
And
Okay,
you'll
let's go.
notice that around the 31 that you'll see Coach Ginoza out there, also out there, as you see Coach Levi patrolling the sideline now, making absolutely sure his white-clad Red Raiders stay on the sidelines, except for the boys that have to go out there and play.
You see Coach Levi just shaking his head, and he's telling his
Also
guys,
dead
hey,
ball
come
foul.
on, we got to
On
show
trouble
more
line,
class
climb
than
up.
this.
On
Look at
White.
it. I mean, you talk about a guy who's full of emotion right now. I mean, here is Coach Levi, usually a very calm kind of guy. He doesn't let his emotions go. That's about the full
We'll also have an
extent of his
injection.
emotions, Al.
On White.
You can see him just kind of nodding at the officials. He realizes that, yeah, you know what, our guys have lost control as well. We'll do what we can to maintain discipline. And Al, as I'm looking at the Kahuku sideline, Coach Levi, so strict, his entire bench is sitting down on the benches. None of them are standing. They are all sitting down. And he has told them, none of you will stand up. You will all sit down.
When you've got yourself to this juncture, you don't want to lose anything because of stupid penalties out there. And certainly hats off to Coach Levi to get the control back in a game that could have very easily turned into an ugly punch-out match. Enriquez downfield and incomplete as Enriquez tried to climb the stair ladder that time around the Kahuku 15. As this will bring up second down.
I was kind of interested to see, Al, how the emotions would play on this very play, but it's good to see that some clean football was played out there. No one with some dirty plays. There were no late hits.
And realistically, it was the actions of only 2, maybe 3 players combined from both sides. Everybody else.
2 bench players at that, Al.
So second down now and 10. Ball at the 41 of Kahuku. Waianae with a chance to at least put some points on the board. As Nunuha fires away under pressure, not able to get it going.
Well, it's really been that kind of night for Kahuku, as you saw Quinlan Adolfo with the quarterback pressure. You see Nunuha as he just kind of steps up, and Adolfo just kind of rolling around. Search and destroy mission on Jonah Nunuha was successful there.
And coming in now, of course, will be Lopez, Brandon Lopez. Manners and Sorono. Sorono in motion to the bottom of the screen. Enriquez down there as well. Lopez out of the pressure, but the whistle had already blown to hold up the play.
And obviously, I think somebody on the Wianae
Well,
side.
dead ball foul. Delay game on your offense. 5 yards. Still third down.
Oh, delay of game instead. All right, this Wianae team, Al. Coming into this game, we knew that one of these teams were going to be very physical, Al. But I gotta say, I've been very surprised to see the more physical, imposing team of the two has been Kahuku.
Sorono in motion, and Kahuku defender goes offsides on the play on the 3rd and 14. This will advance the ball at least 5 yards to
With that ball
around
for
the 41-yard
Postman
line.
on the defense, 5 yards, still 3rd down.
Viliami Lavenilovo, 58 on your screen, jumps in. You see it right there as Lavenilovo is just kind of anticipating the snap count and a little bit in too much of haste.
Pro set, wing back to the far side. Sorono comes in motion toward the near side, leaves Manners in the backfield. He moves prematurely, and this play will come back as they swing the ball out to around the 28 for Sorono.
Uh-oh. That's not a good sign. You saw Sorono go to the ground to try and make that catch, but as he did, kind of got his ankle twisted up underneath him.
He's going to have to come off. He can't stay on in this condition, even though he probably wants to. Yeah. See, he's being told to go off there by the reserve.
You saw Galderama come onto the field and say, you know what, guy,
decline,
my man,
you fought down.
That great try, but that's it. You know, I think it's time to come out and remember, Al, Waianae still is going. They're going to play next week, so there's no point out there and sacrificing yourself in a game that at this point is almost meaningless now.
Of course, Peter Sorono, one of those young men, doesn't necessarily give up easy. Pro set, man in motion is Bibbo. And Lopez setting it up, the pass complete. As meandering his way up, I believe this is Enriquez. And Grain Enriquez works his way up, but not enough for a first down. Pass came on a 4th down situation. They needed to get out to around the 30-yard line. They will not get it. Kahuku will take over, but watch it once again.
And we'll see the replay as Lopez with that screen pass over to Grain Enriquez. Enriquez just trying to find whatever spacing he can before he finally gets brought down there by Adolfo. Ball's turned over on downs.
So 1st and 10, ball at the 35 of Kahuku. Double slot formation. Unga in the backfield. A man comes in motion to the top side. Unga will get the carry, however, but he will be backed up and the ball will pop loose. And this will be a Waianae turnover. Or Kahuku turnover to Waianae, I should say. As coming up with it for Waianae is number 21, Calvin Brown, who's been pretty much in on most of the plays this evening for Waianae.
Unfortunately, on the wrong end of plays. Most of the plays he's made is about 10 to 15 yards down past the line of scrimmage. We'll see it again as Unga, who scored a touchdown earlier, you see him fighting for some yards, and you see Waianae just kind of reaching in to strip that football away.
Balderrama in motions. We come back to live action. And Nunuha rainbows it out to about the 9-yard line and incomplete as the pass receiver led out of bounds that time.
Yeah, Thomas Galderrama had a beat on the football. That thing was just kind of fluttering out there. The wind may have held it up a little bit. You saw Galderrama was kind of going backwards and trying to anticipate where that ball was going to be. Makeable catch there, but the ball started really to flutter under that wind. Galderrama just simply dropped it out of bounds at no fault of his own, however. That was a difficult catch to try and make.
From the 36, 1st and 10, Galderrama in motion to the top of the screen. Handoff Manners. Manners plows ahead. 1st down yardage and a little bit more to inside the 25 to the 24-yard line.
We have not called Lono Manners' name a lot in the second half, Al. Again, a pure indication of how dominant Kahuku's defense has been, not only shutting him down in the first half, but because after Kahuku picked up a sizable lead, they never went back to Lono Manners.
So 1st and 10, ball at the 24 of Kahuku. Waianae looking to add at least a Pyrrhic score. As breaking loose in the secondary is Jonah Nunuha. Weaves his way down to inside the 15 to almost the 10-yard line. Check it again, courtesy Midas.
A good play here by Nunuha. I mean, this kid's not going to give up. Nunuha is only a senior, and certainly he doesn't want to see this game go out in a whimper. He does whatever he can to weave his way down the field.
From the Kahuku 12, 1st and 10 for Waianae. They can pick up a 1st down inside the 3-yard line. Man in motion is Galderrama to the bottom of your screen. And here's Lopez firing, almost picked off double coverage downfield on Grain Enriquez, the main pass threat of the Waianae Sea Riders.
Joshua Hodge there, as well as Philip Elisa. Good job by Kahuku, kind of closing in, that pinching in their safeties. Waianae tried that deep inside slant play. Give credit to Philip Elisa, kind of closing in.
From the Kahuku 12, second and 10, I should say, is Galderama in motion. The handoff to Manners. He spins, turns, works his way upfield, or downfield as the case may be, to about the 8-yard line.
We'll see our Dietrich replay coming up here, Al. So we'll give up to Lono Manners. Actually, Al, kind of surprised to see that Manners is still in the ball game.
Lopez, on the other hand, still rotating in with Nuha, and he will take the controls here. 3rd and 5, ball at the 7. Again, Waianae can pick up a first down inside the 3. Here's Manners, though. There's no such thought on that, as Manners goes straight ahead for the Waianae touchdown, their second score of the ball game.
Too little, Al, and way too late. The Marukai replay coming up. Simple give up to Lono Manners. Nice job of that offensive line kind of crossing their blocks, and Lono Manners into the end zone almost unscathed for the touchdown.
So Kahuku 2nd and 3rd string giving up a Waianae score. Sea Riders, meantime, will line up for 2 as they will try for the deuce. They will line up with Galderama, and Manners will remain in. Galderama in motion to the top of your screen. Wingback is Bebo as Manners takes this, and nothing mannerly about this as he's stopped by the heart of that Kahuku defensive line.
Daryl Tachibana, number 91, reserve defensive lineman, coming up and making the ankle tackle on Manners. I mean, a decent game for Lono Manners tonight, Al, but similarly to what happened in the first meeting between these two, Manners has really been held in check. Remember, Manners only 44 yards rushing in the first game in the first meeting between these two. We don't have any official stats yet, Al, but I swear I think Manners has got somewhere maybe under 70 yards in this game.
And here's our Midas fantastic face of the game.
Well, do what you gotta do to get on the Jumbotron, Al. Paint your face, paint your hair, wear some shades.
I hope that young lady isn't planning on going out on a date later on tonight, or in fact tomorrow evening. It's going to take a while for that paint to come off.
Well, if she can help it, Al. If that face paint brought good luck, she could wear it for the rest of the year. We'll see the touchdown by Lono Manners once again. See the center and the right guard kind of cross. They pull a little trap place. Lono Manners right up the gut for 6 points. But again, Al, too little and way too late.
And if things feel a little light out by La EA and over by the Waianae coast this evening, it's because we have nearly 7,000 fans in attendance here. So
at this point, Al, with 5:47 left to play, Waianae has got to start making a trip over to the Valley Isle, where they will face the MIL champion Maui Sabres.
And here's the onside kick by Waianae. No give in this Sea Rider club as Bryson Howe will take it. Gets a little bit of blocking, curls out over the 40 to the 35-30. Finally brought down at around the 25-yard line, as making the stop on him is number 55 of the Sea Riders, Isaac Kahue. Linebacker, 5'10", 195, a senior. Was not going to give up a cheap score there.
Bryson now a terrific return, and we know he made that really silly decision on that punt return earlier. Had a negative 25-yard return negated, but he's really making it up on that last kickoff return on the attempted onside kick.
Kobe Unga in the backfield for Noi Moana at quarterback. This time they give it to the man in motion. And that's Travis Kaka trying to turn it up, but he'll get nowhere except back to the original line of scrimmage.
Now, Al, it's just a matter of Kahuku just handing it off and running out the clock.
5 minutes and change remaining, specifically 5:17 as we glance over at the clock now. Second down, they credit the gain of 1 to Kaka on the play. And again, Kahuku will deploy in the double slot formation as Waianae Moana comes up to the line. Long count by the young man using all of the clock. Gives it on the handoff to Unga. Unga to the heart of the line, loses 1. Back to about the 30, or excuse me, call that the 27-yard line, 26-yard line.
Leah Atuatasi on the stop, one of the starters in for Wianae. Curious to see that Atuatasi is still in the ball game, Al.
Just about 4.5 minutes to go as the Kahuku second string offensive unit comes to the line. They're going to be short a man, and finally one person does come out, but they're going to have to get them set there for at least a second, and they do. Kaka comes in motion toward the near side, the handoff to Unga, plowing the middle. But it's Waianae Moana, on the quarterback keeper, but they are going to be called for a penalty because one player came on late.
You might see an illegal shift called against Kahuku, but again, Al, penalties at this point are very inconsequential right now.
The only thing it's doing is just holding up the end of the ball game here. 4:10 remaining now.
Illegal procedure on the offense. 5 yards. Repeat third down.
We saw a false start called against Kahuku. Well, I know for one thing, Al, the people on the Valley Isle, I know they are waiting in bated breath to find out the result of this ball game, and I think a lot of people on Maui are going to be surprised to see that it'll be the Waianae Sea Riders, the OIA Red regular season champions, will be making the trek over to Maui.
And a mountainous challenge in the meantime for the Waimea Menahune. They don't call them that for nothing, but they're a pretty tough team. As Unga on the handoff on third down 15 from the Waianae 30, plows ahead for a couple of yards, very near the original line of scrimmage.
See our Royal Adventure Travel replay coming up. As you'll see, Colby Unga right up the middle. You know, Al, you kind of look forward to the matchups between both teams. You know, for Kahuku, they got to like this matchup now, knowing that they're going to have to face the KIF champions. I'll get back to that in a minute.
And this almost tipped into the hands of a Kahuku receiver downfield. This would be, as we check the roster here,
Kimo
Lum-Choi, yeah.
And we'll see it again as the ball went out of the tip of Calvin Brown.
Remember the Minnesota Green Bay game?
Yep, Lum-Choi almost making that impossible catch. But again, interesting to see what and you're kind of anticipating next week's first round state tournament matchups. Kahuku has got to be satisfied with their matchup coming up against Waimea. Waimea, they don't have a big roster, but I'll tell you what, they play as hard as any team there is in the state.
It's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. As on turnover on downs, Lopez fires, completes it, and bringing it upfield for Wianae is number 81, Tico Hines, 5'11", 155-pound junior receiver. Watch it again here, courtesy Menahune Water Company.
And we'll see it again. Lopez out of shotgun as he finds Hines there on the curl pattern. Good pick of about 8 yards.
From their own 25, or actually from their own, closer to the 24-yard line. Second down, call it 2. Bebo in motion. Manners with the handoff, curls up the middle, angles off. First down yardage and more, out over to the 43-yard line of the Sea Riders.
Again, going back to the matchup next week, Als, we'll take a look at Manners' first down carry again, courtesy of All Sport. If you're for the Waimea Menahune, they got a pretty good, solid running back for Kauai. One of the best in the state that you never heard of.
Inside of 3 minutes to play. 1st and 10, ball at the Waianae 43. The pass complete to Bebo at midfield, takes it down inside Kahuku territory to the 44. So Waianae making a late game statement here against the second string of Kahuku.
We'll
check it again, courtesy All Sport.
Yeah, we'll see this play once again coming up, courtesy of All Sport. Now kind of Kahuku just kind of waiting back as Bebo gets a good play on first down, picking up another first down.
Ball spotted at the 44 of Kahuku. Bebo in motion toward the middle. Double slot formation out of shotgun. Nunuha back to pass, fires it deep, picked off. And Kahuku with the interception will take this the other way, as I believe this is Bryson Au coming upfield. It is.
Grain Enriquez making the touchdown-saving tackle. Watch Jonah Nunuha. He gets smashed as he releases the football. He doesn't even see this interception occur. And a great job by Au stepping right in front of Enriquez as he turns down the sideline. And only that good speed by Grain Enriquez saves Kahuku from getting another score on the board.
That and that near tackle right there is Enriquez. No give up, and this young man goes and makes, as you say, the TD saving tackle.
And again, Al, check out the bench for Kahuku. They remain in a seated position. Only the players who are going to play are allowed to stand up and observe.
And Unga on the carry, I believe. Picks up about 5 yards to about the 10, or actually closer to 4 yards. Ball originally spotted inside the 15 to the 14-yard line of Waianae. Kahuku with the ball on the porch once again. Check out the Pepsi replay.
Yeah, we'll see it again right here. Now again for Kahuku, just a matter of winding down the clock. Just a little bit over 90 seconds left to play.
Unga in the backfield. Single slot formation to the near side as Unga carries, or rather Travis Kaka instead now carrying on the play out of the I formation. He plows ahead very near first down yardage inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. Very close to a first down.
Travis Kaka is an outstanding running back. We're going to hear from him a lot next year, playing in a reserve role this season. And with Marcus Salanoa graduating, I think Kaka could be an outstanding feature back for the Red Raiders next season.
Approaching the 1-minute mark. And this time it's Fonoi Moana sweeping to the outside toward the Honolulu sideline. Nothing doing, though, as they managed to stop him on the play.
Short of the first down, so it'll bring up fourth down, and the clock keeps on ticking. And I guess while we have some time, Al, now here's an interesting situation that Waianae faces. They'll have to travel to Maui next week. The problem for Maui is I don't think they have faced the kind of physical attack that Waianae brings to the table. Remember, Maui is the MIL is mainly a run-oriented league, but I don't think Maui has faced the kind of physical strength up the middle that Waianae has.
And here comes Travis Kaka on the toss out of the I formation and gets taken down on a nice solo tackle. Is coming up on the play for Waianae is number 33, Brian Lave.
And we'll check out this good stop by Lave again on this pitch out to Travis Kaka. So they'll turn it over on downs. Kahuku will. Good stick there, good plant. But again, the thing that Maui has going for it next week is the fact that they have home field advantage. Remember last year, Baldwin of the MIL put in over 6,000 fans as we take a look at our score. They put in 6,000 fans in War Memorial Stadium last year as Baldwin pulled off a surprise over Farrington. And a lot of people I've talked to on Maui, Al, say that this Maui High Sabre team is better than the one that the Baldwin put out last year.
Late player coming on is out of shotgun formation. The ball loose, as I believe that was number 10 going back to pass. And if that was, that would be Brandon Lopes on the play. Lopez.
Toli Ngalu. In that fumble recovery, you see Lono Manners. Manners is going to try and pick up that loose pigskin. There he is. You see Manners right there. He's going to try and pick it up. And Ngalu is there to just pounce on that football.
Just everything breaking down for Waianae tonight.
I'll say this, Al. Maui will face a very upset and angry Waianae Ball Club next week. One of the concerns that Waianae has is they did not want to travel. They have some issues that they needed to concern themselves in case they lost this ball game, in which they officially have, Al.
And so one genuflect play and the game is over as Kahuku dominating the Sea Riders this evening, 32-13. As there you see the line score. 8 and 12 for 32 points, and Wianae coming up with scores in the second and fourth period to post 13 points themselves, but just not enough against a very potent Kahuku team that apparently has pulled it together.
They really did. They pulled it together at the right time, Al, especially in this OIA championship game. And now think about this, Al. Tonight, Kahuku puts up 32 points. Wianae, all season long, has allowed 42. That is an outstanding job by the Kahuku Red Raiders in really attacking this Wianae defensive team that it was so dominant defensively. A good job by Shiwaki Levi in really dissecting on how to break down this Waianae defensive front. But again, Al, Waianae has really, I don't think they have nothing to hang their heads over. They will live to fight another day, Al, as they will travel to the Valley Isle of Maui next week to take on the MIL champion Maui Sabres. Of course, for Kahuku, hey, they get to stay home and play the KIF champion Waimea Menehune right here at Aloha Stadium next week.
So that'll be something to see, and of course we'll be bringing you that courtesy of Aloha Stadium Stars TV Sports, and certainly stay with us as we'll bring you the quarterfinals, the semifinals, and the championship game. And Kevin, that should really be something to watch, as here's our player of the game, Inoke Funaki, who continues the tradition of his brothers Kolo and Vai Funaki, who were quarterbacks here at Kahuku.
Yeah, and absolutely, Al, I think without question our player of the game. He did it all. He did it with his legs, helped to provide leadership for Kahuku. He threw the ball with great effectiveness. But if there is one unsung hero, Al, and I don't think we call his name a whole lot, Chris Kimoe Atu. Here's a guy who was dinged up. He had a bad back coming into this game. And so what does Coach Shiwaki Levi do? He puts him at right tackle. And if you remember, Al, Kahuku used a rushing attack on the right side where Kimoe Atu lined up. Kimoe Atu did not play a whole lot defensively on the defensive line, so interesting to see that Shiwaki Levi, a little bit of an ace up of his sleeve, putting Chris Kimoe Atu, an all-state defensive lineman, inserting him into right tackle. And because of his efforts, Kahuku's rushing game was at its full strength tonight.
And certainly no doubt about that. As we close out here, there you see Coach Shiwaki Levi. Just want to send out our thanks to our pregame highlights producer, Pat Garcia, our camera operators, which included Pat tonight, along with his cohorts, Mike Jockson and Camden Baruga, videotape replay operator, Kelly Sato, and our director this evening, Edna Tartares, and our Jumbotron crew supervisor, as always, Dave Golds. So again, our final score here in the OIA Championship 2000. Final score, Kahuku 32, Wianae 13. Tonight's OIA Championship football game is a presentation of Aloha Stadium Stars Television Sports. For Kevin Hashiro, I'm Al Morikami. Have a good night, everybody. Aloha.